Welcome, people. It's Zane back again. See, man's not missing. And today we've got a special rival show. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce these two people, man. I met them on Friday, and trust me, they're real G's, real ones. Because on this channel, there's some quality control, bruv. I don't invite anyone. It has to be a certain standard to get on this channel, bruv. Do you get me? So, here we go, bruv. I'm going to introduce the man now.
You know
What are you saying, guys?
Can you hear us okay, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. How you doing, Daps?
Put me up first as well.
I was. Do you know what? Let me take it off Daps, yeah? So this is me. I'm Soups. I'm from Never a Foul. I do like graphics. I do a bit of show production and stuff like that. And honestly, I piggyback off what Zane was saying. It was so great to meet him on Friday. We just linked up, and you know when people just like start to bond immediately, like real recognize real, energy matches energy. It was just great to build rapport with him. We were talking smack, talking about football, talking about all sorts, talking about life in general. You know, we've got a lot of things in common, and it was so great. So I am so happy to be on your channel. You know, we'll be talking football again, exactly like we were the other day, and honestly, it's so great. So I'm here.
I'm blessed, bro.
No, trust, it was so good. So I'm here from Never a Foul, and I'm with my boy Daps as well. So Daps, you ready to come in the camera now?
Hold on, let me just do it quick.
Yeah, I think Daps is working. Like you can see, and our setup at the moment. Obviously, we've got two camera set up right here in the Never a Foul Towers, but it's affectionately known as the Cave, and we're going to be doing so much stuff, producing so much content from this cave. Like we talk about football from specific channels. We've got like a Spurs channel, we've got Chelsea channel, we've got Man United channel, we had Liverpool friends at one point, we had, you know,
at one point,
yeah. And,
so what are you saying about Liverpool channel, bruv, again? Do you get me? Because man's a Liverpool fan still, and I come with it real. I'm not one of those deluded ones, you get me?
No, I know that, but obviously you're a good Liverpool fan, you're our mate as well, so you know it's all good, and we'll do some work in the future.
You know what? Firstly, Soups, you see how he said, yeah, that he said that he's a graphic designer. Obviously, one of the co-founders is Never a Foul, but he never says that he's a host. But this guy is a better host than I am because I don't listen to people, whereas he listens to people. So this guy's a bad boy host, and that like this season, obviously, this is our second season now, and this season, Soups is going to be doing a lot more hosting, but. Listen, Zane, you know how you're a real one? You know how you know you're a real one as well? Because me and Soups, yeah, I'm City, he's United, yeah, and we hate Liverpool.
Hate Liverpool, yeah.
Liverpool fans, I can name them. I can name Liverpool fans that I like, get on with, on one hand, bruv.
I can name Liverpool. So obviously, you've upset the balance, Zane, right? Because before I met you, I could name Liverpool fans that I get along with on one finger, pretty much. So now it's probably like two fingers now. It's now two fingers. I know like everybody's not no. Do you know what? And Steve as well. Steve, I like.
Steve's one of mine. Yes. Steve's one of mine, probably three. Yeah. To be fair.
So so it's probably I can count Liverpool fans on three fingers that I can like have a rational discussion with without it moving into the realms of delusion. And you know, I appreciate that because I love football. I talk football. I live football. I'll watch any game. It's just, certain fans just rub me up the wrong way. But you're not one of them, so it's lovely to meet you.
What? On that, I get annoyed with my own fan base as well, bro. Honestly, because I keep it real. I will cuss a man out because for me, I'm old school. I expect output because I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So I've seen some sick teams, bro. In the 80s, we dominated shit. Do you know what I mean? Right? And there's always young kids nowadays, right? They're probably watching it from 2000s, 2010 onwards. They ain't seeing proper football, so they get gassed over any average player. And it winds me up, bro. Do you get me? So I call this shit out, and people are like, you're not a fan. And I'm thinking, oh no, bro. I'm the one who's been waiting 30 years. I've been waiting 30 years, bro, for this title. You might have just probably waited about 10, 15 years, bro. What are you talking about? Shut up. Do you get me? So,
about it, when my first memory of football.
Steve, nice to meet you, bro.
Steve, the guy we were talking about.
Steve, big up, bro.
He's one of the 5 Liverpool fans that makes it onto my hand of Liverpool fans that I get on with. And do you know what? One of the Liverpool fans that doesn't make it to my hand yeah, is no. You think I'm going to call someone out? I'm not going to call out Sonny. I'm not going to call out Red Sea Pod. I'm not going to call. It's half of Red Sea Pod I get on with great, right? It's my brother-in-law. He ain't making it onto my hand.
Hey, brother-in-law's a difficult bruv. I hear you on that, bruv. Trust me. That's a different thing, bruv.
What it is I've tried to talk football with him, and it made me realise that he's not really a proper Liverpool fan, because he just doesn't watch that much football, clearly. So, but yeah. So yeah, it was great to meet you. Great to come on here, Steve. You've got another real one here that you need to link up with, another real Liverpool fan.
Yeah, Steve, definitely Liverpool fan.
The other reason I know you're real, Zane, is because, and your opinions are proper, is because obviously when we were at the terrace on Friday, Sonny was there, and even you were pulling faces at some of the stuff the guy was saying. Like, come on, man.
Well, like I said, I'll be honest with that guy, right? We don't talk too much of him because he gets enough. Do you know what I mean? Clickbait anyway. My man's just hustling, right? And like I said, I just found it funny how my man flip flopped. Do you get me? When do you know what I mean? Like, basically went missing, and then suddenly, do you know what I mean? We have got squad depth. Like, hold a minute. 1 minute you're saying we ain't got squad depth. Now you're saying we have, and then it's like, and there's a lot of fans like that, bruv. And I just call that stuff out, please. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
From my point of view, let him do his thing, man, because what goes up, do you get me? I've been old enough to know this thing. Do you get me? So,
and you know what the thing is? That was what? Because I think you got there as I was probably getting irritated outside.
I could feel the energy, bro.
The guy had irritated me before I got there, but when I got there, I actually went over to him and said, "You know what? Yeah, I get you're doing your thing, and I'm all for that, and I rate that. But honestly, you don't really think that Trent revolutionised the forward-minded fullback, do you?" It was and it was from that point that the way that he believed everything he was saying made me think, do you know what? Actually, I think he does honestly believe everything he's saying. So, but anyway, you know what? He is doing his thing, and yesterday was on terrace, and actually, he was coming out with some he was a little bit more respectful to City. So, and he's only 18, man. So
exactly, he's a kid. Come on, how many wild stuff we used to say at 18? We used to say bare wild stuff. Trust me, back in the day.
It is, and you know what? I don't ever want to see anyone turn on him. Like, it's his opinion, and ultimately, football is about opinions. So hold tight, LFC, Sonny. Yeah. I think in probably a week's time when we play Liverpool, I think next Sunday. So next Friday, we'll probably come head to head at the terrace as well. So
really, I'm gonna have the popcorn with seats on the sofa, just watching it around. Do you get me?
That should be fun. But yeah,
all right. No, look, like I said, it's an absolute pleasure to get you guys. And for me, the best thing of the night, like I told you, was meeting you, man. Do you get me? I was coming along just to see what it's like in the background, see the, how it's all put together. Production's curious. Yeah. But for me, like I said, it was you, man, were the real thing, man. You, Monster was cool. Tans was there. She was nice as well. Ash as well, like real people, man. So it was lovely, man. Do you get me?
You didn't say Soups. You didn't say Soups.
He said both.
I said both of you. What are you talking about?
We're a partnership,
right? Soups. Yes, you as well, bro.
But you know what? And just to touch on that is the thing that I think at the moment, even we're going through a little bit, is when we started Never a Foul a year ago, pretty much bang on a year ago. It was all about just people coming around here, like brethrens, talking about football, and then obviously this probably second or third lockdown came along, and the one thing that Football Podcast really did for me is it was a way for me to interact with other football fans during lockdown and whatever, and just mental health. It helps so much. So you have to remember that it's all about the people you're connecting with, and I've met so many sick people that I actually class as friends now through this, so we have to remember that. But also shout out Football Terrace, their production's just taking it, and
definitely
we need people to aspire to, and it's like we can't aspire to Sky Sports and BT Sports and those things. So to see something like Football Terrace, which is in arm's reach of us, is really good for us, because it kind of inspires us that we can take it somewhere. So hold tight, Terry. And I do love the fact that me and Terry have had I've had my differences with Terry. He probably didn't know who I was, to be fair. But hold tight, Terry, for bringing for effing with smaller channels and bringing us through, because
like I said, we wouldn't have met. Do you get me? If it was for Terry, do you get me? Because do you know one thing I like about Tighty, like he's doing his thing, but he's inclusive and he's giving everyone a voice and thing. Because and like you talked about, do you get me, about mental health? Do you know what I mean? That was one of the reasons why I started doing it, because being in lockdown and stuff, and I'm quite a sociable guy, and obviously can't be in the office and stuff. So I needed that kind of outlet. Even the missus was like, look, you need to do something. At first, she thought, is this a midlife crisis? Like, what's my man doing? Do you get me? Like, ordering the kit off Amazon, literally, like, no, I want to say some shit. Do you get me? But she gets them, innit?
Believe me, we've all had that. So,
all right, so let's crack on with the show then, right, guys? So
yes, let's talk football now.
All right, so Ali, straight away, talk about Man United. What happened? So without further ado, right, what I do, let me add the results in, bruv. All right, so let's get the results going. All right, so before we talk about Man United, let's go through the rest of it, because I think, I do want to hear from a Man United fan what's really going on with the club at the moment. So let me just go through the results quickly, just so these man can see what else happened. So Tottenham, Wolves, don't really care, but Tottenham won. Great. Good luck to them. Leicester, Millwall, again, don't care. Leicester won. Oh, well done. This one we'll come back to. Hold tight on Man United, West Ham. Chelsea, Villa. All right. Chelsea won 4-3. So they can't be as good as everyone keeps banging on. So we'll talk about that.
The Chelsea one, I haven't looked too much at the team that was put out yet or anything, but that was quite an interesting one still. But actually, me and Soups went to the league game between Chelsea and Villa the other week.
Yeah.
Hold tight, Jay. We went for Jay's birthday. And and you know what? That result, 1-1, that probably would have suited the day, because on the day, like, Chelsea won 3-0, but Chelsea didn't look that dominant.
They didn't.
But hear what I think. I haven't seen their squad yet. I haven't seen who played for Chelsea, but This reminds me of City last season, where everyone was saying that City had such a strong squad, and the same this season, that we have two teams, But whenever we played our second team, we didn't look the same, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that's the same with Chelsea. Like, I don't know, did Lukaku play? Do you know? Let me have a look.
Yeah, have a look. I'm not sure if they ever check that one out. Let me go for the rest. Arsenal, Wimbledon, obviously Arsenal won. Brighton, Swansea, Brighton won again. Don't care. Sunderland, Wigan Athletic. Sorry, guys up north. Don't care about that one. Watford, Stoke, boy, definitely don't care about Stoke. Sheffield United, Southampton won. Okay, close game. Obviously, yesterday we had Everton. They lost. Come on, QPR. Well done, QPR.
Yes.
Big you up. Preston, North End, Cheltenham, again, don't care. Preston won. Obviously, we won 3-0 with our youth, with our B team, whatever. Minimino, who I've been saying for time, give him a chance. Free the man from jail and let him do his team, bruv. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, we'll go into that when we come to fan agendas, because that's what's going to come up in the fan agenda section. Man City obviously slapped out Wickham 6-1 with the kids there in defence. Leeds got through. Burnley obviously won, and then Brentford. Right,
Burnley that would have been a bit of a spicy one. Burnley
exactly.
That's a derby, that, isn't it? Burnley
that's up. Yeah, they're all nearby, isn't it, then, man? So we go back to what you're saying about Chelsea Villa. Who was Lukaku playing? I take it wasn't.
Looking at it, it's quite interesting, because if I look at Chelsea's team, right, it's definitely their B team.
Yeah.
But it's a strong B team. I mean, they have Werner up top, who scored, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Saul. Then in defence, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Chilwell and Sarr. Now, obviously, Reece James and Ben Chilwell haven't really been starting this season, but everyone puts down Reece James and Ben Chilwell as like two of the best fullbacks in the league. So based on that, that's a strong.
Yeah.
I mean, Chilwell's been interesting, and again, like, damn, you know what? I feel for Ashley Young. Ashley Young played at left back for Villa. How old's Ashley Young, Zeus?
It must be 36, 37.
Yeah, he's probably touching
Bless
the
him.
majors. Probably touching the majors.
Bless
yeah.
him. Hold to Ashley Young's missus as well. I know, Sue.
Oh, you guy.
Day one from school days. You can definitely tell.
Yeah. All right, then, come on, Suits. You've been hiding long enough. We're giving you a bit of time, but let's talk about.
Let me just say that Ashley Young is 36 years old.
36.
Yeah, 36. I thought he'd be about that kind of age. Do you know what I mean? He's at that kind of. Do you know what I mean? So maybe a couple more years, and then you know, he's had a long career, bro. Do you get me? You know,
Yeah, he's back where he
thanks to you,
started.
man, as well.
Yes, yeah,
Back where he started.
Yeah. Which is nice. Do you know what I mean? So you probably come part of the coaching staff at some point. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what all the players do.
It's poetic. It's poetic.
So, Sue, talk to us about your club.
Okay, yeah. So obviously we set up today, very low block. We just didn't have any answers. We made 11 changes to the team, and I thought after the game after the game of the weekend, I thought we could comfortably like pocket West Ham. Clearly not, because
Well, you didn't comfortably pocket them at the weekend, did you? You didn't comfortably pocket them at the weekend.
No, we didn't comfortably pocket them at the weekend. But what I'm saying is, after the game that we had at the weekend, we made 11 changes because I feel like Ollie felt that we were comfortable enough to make so many changes that we could comfortably pocket them in this game. And yeah, it just didn't really work out. The subs we made, the positioning, like the positions that we were putting people in. When the team sheet came out and we saw Sancho was playing and Sancho was playing on the left, we were like why is that?
But he has been.
Sorry?
But he has been.
No, so Sancho's been playing on the right, but obviously
No, I swear he's been playing on the left.
No, so they've been switching. So Greenwood and Sancho have been switching, but with Sancho starting on the left-hand side, we look back to how he was at Dortmund, and we looked at case studies and stuff, and people are saying that Sancho's probably best coming from the left-hand side. So we started him on the left, and it just didn't really bear any fruit. You know, he was giving the ball away a lot. He wasn't really dribbling deep. We were playing a very low block, so there was only a few players that were high up the pitch. We were looking for the breakaway and stuff like that, but stuff wasn't coming over. And then when we conceded the early goal, after the first 10 minutes, we just started to, like Man United always do, we start to kick into gear. Start to kick into gear after about 10 minutes, or when we go 1-0 behind. That's when we start playing. That's very frustrating for me and other Man United fans. Why can't we start the game at 0 minutes and start
I see that
the game with high intensity? I don't know why we don't do it, but anyway, we started to do that. And it just wasn't really working for Sancho on the left-hand side, so he kept transitioning to the right. It's very fair that he started on the left, because I don't think he's going to break into to coming in on the right wing, because Greenwood is just doing the business.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I mean?
You know what? If I'm being honest, right, I've been, so you know, Zane, a lot of United fans, I don't know what Soup's honest opinion is. He sits on the fence a lot, but a lot of my United friends think that I'm anti-United. I'm not. I grew up like I was of an age in the early days of the Premier League where I call Man United Big Man United, because like I was in awe of them. We were rubbish then. Like we weren't even rivals with them because we were so rubbish. So I could be in awe of them. Now, when I look at Man United right now, I think Ollie came in to settle the fans and whatever else and just calm everything down. But I feel like he did a better job than they expected, so they've kept him on.
Yeah.
I feel like that's exactly what the scenario is. Obviously, he just came in. Initially, it was a short-term thing. You know, he just came in. Obviously, he's a Champions League trophy winner.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. Champions League trophy winner. Obviously, came in, scored the goal against Bayern and stuff like that. So he's a living legend at Man United. So he just came in to just bring back the feel-good factor between us and the Man United team and the management team. He just came in to like just reignite the love relationship between us. he's come in. He's done a few things. I think when he first came in, he went on, was it 13 games, like undefeated run and stuff, and it was really, really good. Okay, yeah, I will. So he done that, and yeah, it was good. Just brought the good times back. You even had man like Rio Ferdinand saying, "Ollie's like the real,"
However,
put the contract down.
However,
give him whatever he
Come
likes.
on, spit out $64 million question. What are you saying at the moment?
The key thing is he's come in and he's done better than he should have, right? And that's why they've given him the contract extension. They've been,
and we backed him as well financially.
they've backed him financially, and I don't want to see none of these stats yet. It's too early for any stats. I don't want to see no stats yet. It's way too early in the season. I don't even want to see the league table till November, to be frank with you.
No, I hear you. But do you know what? That's the fans, bro. Do you get me?
When Ollie came in, that like he did better than they thought. And like, let's be 100. Look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, with the credentials he has, he should not be finishing second in the league. But he did, right? And so they've given him contract extensions. But the fact is, last season, Zane, I was, from very early doors, I was saying to United fans, you ain't winning nothing. Even when United were top in January, right?
I was saying he ain't got the minerals.
He ain't got the minerals.
21. That nonsense,
you ain't winning nothing under Ole Gunnar. I was saying it. You ain't winning nothing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The guy's got no minerals. He will bottle it, yeah? And then, like, there's certain games, like the Leipzig game. All they had to do was beat Leipzig to go through. Bottled it. All they had to do was beat Man City. They played really well against us in the league in December. Then in January, play us in the Carabao Cup. Look, if United would have beat us in the semi, they would have gone on to the final, won it. Different Man United once they've got a trophy under this new group of players. What did they do?
I hope so too.
What did they do? They bottled it, right? Then the whole of February, we had a hard run in. United had an easy run in. What happened? Ole bottled it. They lost bare games. Then final Europa League. What happened? Bottled it. The guy has no minerals because tactically, when you have a squad like Man United, you can rely on individual talent sometimes to pull you through. That's where Ollie's tactic.
Yeah.
That's
exactly. No, I hear that. And I so what I'll do, I'll give you my opinion on this as well, because obviously a Liverpool fan, right? I'm not, first things first for me, I want Ollie to stay as long as he can, bro, because he ain't winning shit for you, right? Amen, brother. I'm not gonna lie, that's a fact, that's a rival talking here. But if I actually be honest about this, it's like any job you take on, right? If you haven't got the experience or the skills, you're not going to be successful in any walk of life, any kind of job you do, from, any management or any senior kind of job like that, right? You're managing people, or you're managing multi-million-pound assets, right? You've got to build that experience and you've got that knowledge. You've got to learn and graft your way. And what I don't like, especially nowadays, is if you're an ex-player, whatever, you've got a name, you get given jobs when actually you don't deserve them. And there's a lot of good qualified managers that haven't got a chance, right? And I'll give you an example like I feel sorry for Sol Campbell. He's getting violated, bruv. Just me. The amount of experience and the great things he's done for Arsenal, obviously a bit of Tottenham and in England, all that kind of stuff. My man's struggling to get like a League Two job. Do you get me, right? And then Ollie, Cardiff flopped at that. Let's be honest. He had a lot of money backing him in Cardiff. He's done Mulder, whatever, FC, whatever, won some stuff there. But
you're saying whatever, but you give Ollie his props at Mulder, right?
No, but I can't though, because he's not won anything. And even Arteta, bruv, who brings out the codes, bruv, he still won the FA Cup, bruv. He still won something. Do you get me? And the thing.
Did he give Ollie his props? Did he? He done his thing at Mulder, right?
Did he? I don't even know, bro. Like, honestly, who's Mulder, bro? Mulder sounds like Moldova with a V missing, bro. Like, to be honest with you, and Moldova is a team we used to turn over 6-0. I'm sorry, Ollie doesn't like. Again, I'm defending Man United. This is the thing. When I say what I say, I'm not going at Man United. Man United's squad is good. It's very good, right? A different manager. If Pep or Klopp went into Man United, they could win the league. Like, they could win the league with that squad. They've got Ronaldo. Come on. Like, they've got Sancho. But here's the thing with Sancho. Like, did Ollie... I asked a United fan the other day, does Ollie suit... Right, sorry. Was Sancho thrown at Ollie? Like, the board said, here's Ollie. Here's Sancho. Run with Sancho. And Ollie was like, he doesn't fit the system. The United fan said to me, we haven't got a system.
We haven't got a system.
And that is the whole thing, that Ollie has got all these players, like, that he doesn't know how It doesn't, and you know what? I actually now I'm at a point where this whole all summer where United fans were getting all these great players and they were saying we still need a DMs, we still need a DM, and I was like, shut up about a DM. Like no team has the perfect squad. However, I kind of do get it because there's no coincidence that Pogba, when he plays wide left, looks pretty good, right? Because Pogba can do what Pogba wants to do. The minute you play Pogba through the middle, he has to kind of defend a bit, right? And because ultimately, if you're playing that role and if you're playing the pivot role and the person next to you is rubbish, then you have to help out, right?
Yeah, you have to cover, innit, bruv? Yeah.
So a prime example is if you look at Man City, Yaya Toure, when he was there, he always had someone that could do the pivot sensationally next to him because Yaya Toure's defensive duties were rubbish, like really bad. Never trapped players back. But he had people next to him that would do that for him.
So they'll cover him, do the dirty work, innit, to let him express himself.
Young, Barry, them type of players. Whereas with Pogba, he's got rubbish next to him, but it's unbalanced. It's Ollie at the wheel, and look, they're out of the Carabao Cup in what is this? Third round. They're not going to challenge. I'm sorry, but Liverpool or Chelsea, or I'm not going to rule City out. City's mad. I'm unsure on City this season, but United ain't challenging Chelsea or Liverpool, and maybe City this season. So
but they will get top 4. All I care about is Ollie gets top 4. Ollie stays for another year. I'm good, bro, because that gives Liverpool a chance to get that 20th title, and then it's even, bro. And then we're already ahead because we've got more major trophies. But I just want the title thing as well, so they can shut up because these man just love chat shit. They're not as bad as Arsenal fans, but at the moment it's been kind of sweet, man. 8 years, man. They're mean.
I mean, look, I'll be 100 because as a City fan, I've come to realise now that this whole champion. For years I've said I'm not bothered about winning the Champions League. City fans, all we're bothered about is dominating in the league and all this and that. But it's got to a point now where I get it, man. Like everything that we're doing, the records we're breaking, the back-to-back titles, winning 5 of the last 10 leagues. We have Chelsea last season. We finished first. Chelsea finished 4th, I believe.
Yeah,
3rd or 4th. Where did Liverpool finish?
3rd. We come 3rd.
Right,
we did a run at the end. Yeah.
However, all bragging rights void once Chelsea win the Champions League. We can't brag because if we say we're champions of England, they go, well, England's in Europe, we're champions of Europe. So I get it. You need that for your legacy, bro. You need that for your legacy because any Arsenal fan that's chatted to me, I straight away say, where's your Champions League, bro? You had 20 plus attempts with Wenger. You didn't win nothing, bro. Ferguson got 2 Champions League in 26 attempts, i.e., he qualified for it, whatever. And unfortunately for City, it's going to be the same thing. It is the same. It
is. You've got to back it, man. And Pep has bottled it last season. You should have beaten Chelsea, man, but for some reason, I don't know what's wrong with him.
The worst thing is, it's so hard to get our fan base behind the team in the Champions League, yeah? Like, look, if I'm being 100, we have our reasons for why we don't like the Champions League, yeah? And they're very valid reasons. But even as a City fan, sometimes where there's a good reason, so you're going to grab onto it. But deep down, it's just because you don't believe.
So for all the people, like you said, got very valid reasons for not rating the Champions League and stuff like that. Do you want to name those reasons?
So basically, the reason it all started was we played CSK Moscow and their fans were racist to Yaya Toure, and I think in the same game we arrived 1 minute late for the kickoff in the second half. We got a big fine.
Yeah.
We got a big fine. They got. I don't know if it was them that got, because we had a few instances of that with them kind of teams from over them ways. I don't know if it was that game that they didn't get a fine or the second one where they did get, I think, fans banned from the away game, but then at the away game, loads of their fans were in the ground anyway. And it was like we got a bigger punishment than them lot for turning up 1 minute late. Now that's the
And
first
they were
thing that
racist, bruv. And they were racist. And that's the thing. That
there
should
we
be
go.
worse,
And
isn't it?
that is a well, like, I get that, and 100%, and I'll back that all day long. And then the other thing is obviously with all the financial fair play and this and that, and it's like, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that City haven't spent money. I'm not going to get into the deepness of, like, we're never going to be left bankrupt ever, whereas other clubs will. Like, our board puts their money in, so that's better than certain clubs that are letting owners do an IOU. But anyway.
No.
But for me personally, I do now think that as a City fan, to be honest, we're clinging on to that because we just don't believe. However, last season when we beat PSG in the final, I think we beat Dortmund in the quarters, PSG in the semis.
In the semis, yeah.
We
should have won it last season, bro.
We believed. The fan base for once were behind the team, and then.
Pep bottled it, bruv. What does he do? Why does he always change shit? Why does he change shit for no reason?
I get that. I get that, and I agree with
it.
That.
Don't make no sense, bruv. Shit's working, and then if it ain't broke, don't fix. And some reason he thinks on some mad strategy, I got to do this and that. It don't make no sense, man.
No,
do you know what I mean?
The weirdest thing is that all season, Pep was kind of showing that he learned from previous seasons where he's overthought stuff and didn't overthink anything. And then it got to the final, and it's like, oh my God, you've done it again. However, irrelevant, irrelevant to that, if I'm being 100 and talk about the players on the pitch, the players on the pitch weren't good enough on the day. They bottled it. Chelsea's players, sensational. Chilwell, Reece James, Mount, they're my three. Kante. Havertz scored, but he wasn't sensational. But we need it. Well, what I'm saying is we need that trophy. Without that trophy, you're banging with the Arsenal comment that, like, Arsenal can't talk to man. Like, they can talk to us because they've won a few more leagues than us, but that's about it. But I'll tell you one thing though that's very interesting. Chelsea, are one Champions League away from being able to talk to them, man.
Yeah, I know. Do you mean? Because I always say to Arsenal, man, is they're a domestic club, bruv. And that's facts. They're a domestic club. Yeah, they got all this stuff in England, bruv. What you done?
To be fair, bro.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. And it winds them up because they don't want to talk about that stuff, right? And to be fair to Chelsea, do you know what I mean? One more and then they level with Man United. Do you get me?
But
obviously, we're clear at the moment.
That's 3 Champions Leagues in what, like 20 years? That's pretty healthy still. But Liverpool have got that shout. But so United,
we'll change the parameters though.
Go on.
No, I'm saying we will change the parameters because they're never on our level.
Who, Arsenal? They're not. You know what? I have this debate all the time, because Arsenal fans, they love to put themselves up there alongside
the greatest sides.
The two red teams.
Yeah, they do.
Let's be 100. Listen, right. Liverpool and Manchester United are the most successful and the biggest team. Now, Arsenal fan base is pretty big. Arsenal are from the capital, right? The Arsenal have that, and Arsenal are bigger than City. But what irritates me is when they try and put themselves at the head table with Liverpool and Man United. It's like, no, how, and they're like, oh, we're United's biggest rival. No, you're not.
No, you're not, man. Do you mean they had a little period, bruv? Do you get me? That was it. And it's domestic, but the thing. No, exactly. But the thing I want to sort of on these particular things, the reason why, like I said, I'll keep it open. The reason why I out of every club, I hate Arsenal the most because of '89, because they won the title in our backyard in the last game of the season when we were just the best team, like in Europe, everything, bruv. 2-0. That just hurt. Yeah, exactly. We had, do you know what I mean? So from my point of view, I'll never. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I'll never, do you know what I mean, allow them, do you get me? But just moving on to that, we'll talk about fan agendas now, bruv, because obviously, do you know what I mean? Every fan base has agenda about certain players, all that kind of stuff. Like Man United, they got agenda about Fred, do you get me? I don't know, this thing, they don't like him, whatever. I keep it real. I have issues with Firmino, Origi, because they ain't been performing, and I've been on Mane this season because I allowed him last season. But all right, fair enough. You're allowed one bad season, but brother, you got to step up now. Do you get me, man? You know who the big dog is in Liverpool? It's Salah now. You tried it. You thought you were the man. You got to find that, bro. My man stepped up and showed you who the real dog is now. So behave yourself and do you know what I mean? Do your thing now, which is score goals or produce assists. I want output, bro. I don't care about you being a nice person, all that kind of stuff. I've got a funny story about Mane, which I'll tell you a bit later. But what I want to talk about you guys, like Soups. You know, what fan agendas in your fan base annoy you? Because obviously, do you know what I mean? Like Man United. I heard about the.
Okay, so big up our boy Ty. Yeah. So Ty, and I'm sure you've seen on social media. I'm sure you've seen him on various channels. He's got his Martial pillow in the background, and a lot of fan agendas go against Martial because he's had, you know, mitigating circumstances that have gone against him. Obviously, like people came into the club and stuff like, certain big players come to the club, taking his number and stuff like that. They just upset his whole run, right? But now,
excuses already.
See what I'm saying? But not last season, the season before, he had a storming season. I think he scored like, was it 20?
But it wasn't. It was. When you say storming season.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was. It was storming season
for him. You just said for him.
So
you just said for him.
Storming season.
You said for him.
But yeah, storming season.
No, bruv. It wasn't storming season. Like storming season, put in like what was it? Was it on levels of like Salah, Aguero, Kane?
Obviously, he wasn't getting golden boot levels, but he was doing great. He was doing it better than a lot of.
But it wasn't. So it wasn't a storming season. It was good for Martial, just to be clear.
All right, so can I say?
You're talking about Man United, and you're talking about good for Martial. Man United are better than that.
Yeah, but we haven't had.
Is Martial like our Firmino? Is Martial like our Firmino?
No,
where certain clubs, certain players love him, but you can't. Is that what it is?
Don't you dare mention
Firmino.
Defensive, yeah, it's Firmino. Don't you dare mention that defensive striker in the same league as Martial.
But
the
thing is on the Martial thing, I do get Soup's point, right? That there is now basically because of the way that certain people want to ride for Martial and whatever, it's become like if people don't talk about players, then they just go below the radar and they do their job. A prime example for me is someone like Fernandinho, when no one talks about him and whatever. The minute people start talking up a player, we have to remember when Martial joined the Premier League, man was saying he's the next Thierry Henry, Like, unfortunately for Martial, that's what you've got to live with now, right?
Yeah.
And United fans have now done, there's United fans that are going to ride for him. And I get what Soups is saying, that, like, if it wasn't for that, like, there's bare players of Martial's level at clubs that we like. Firmino's a great example, to be fair, that it's a player at a club that if you're a Liverpool fan and you watch him week in, week out, you know what he brings. Another example is at City, Gabriel Jesus. Like,
well, that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to go into City. Have you got your play? Is it Jesus? Is it Sterling? What's the fan agenda in City? Because I'm curious to know what your
the biggest agenda probably amongst City's fan base online is Mahrez.
Mahrez, really?
Yeah, but what it is that's to be frank with you, that's a race thing where like you've got a lot of Muslim people that want to ride out for Mahrez constantly, and then regardless, like, and a prime example is on one stream, one of the biggest Man City streams, someone got pulled up for not talking about Mahrez. Like, you don't want to talk about Mahrez. Mahrez didn't play in the game. That's why they're not talking about him. But there's this like mad. If City fans are critical of him, people are saying, well, that's why you're being critical of the Muslim brother. And it's like, no.
That's not
just because he's Muslim, he can have a bad game. Like, if I'm being honest, Mahrez over the last 2 years has been one of our best players. However, in certain games, Mahrez does not turn up. Like, it's taken me 2 years to forgive him for missing the penalty against you, man. Like,
Yeah, no,
but-
exactly. But as you're right, as a fan, if a man ain't performing, you have a right to call a man out. If he's
exactly, and not
performing,
be
it's
called
all
racist
good.
for doing it, and not be called
Yeah.
racist for doing it. Now the
No,
only other
bro.
one, we've got a few because Jesus is one, but I don't think many City fans really have an issue with Jesus. It's other teams talk about him, but City fans watch City, so we know what he brings.
Do you think it's because they compare Jesus to Aguero?
Yeah, 100%, and they shouldn't do that because, like, I've been saying for the last year or two that Jesus' best position is out wide. He's not that guy in the middle. Like, he's better out wide. He leads the press sensationally. He's good out wide, and now Pep's playing him out wide and playing Varane through the middle. The biggest one for me is probably Sterling, but Sterling's not even a City debate. That is the whole of England debate. Like, the guy's numbers are sensational, but for me,
England, yeah, I hear
well,
that.
no, for City generally, not this season or last, but generally, some of the numbers he's got from out wide for City are like Henry level.
So Zane.
But go on,
Zane,
I'll say.
Obviously, Sterling came from your club, right?
Mm.
Would you have him back now?
Not now, surely.
No, do you know what? I think from my point of view with Sterling, right? Obviously, he done his thing, right? So you want to, one thing, I'll never hate on a person that wants to go somewhere to win stuff because a player's career is quite short, 10, 12 years, barring any injuries, right? So they have the right, if a team that is more successful and they've got a good chance of winning silverware, because every player wants to have some trophies or medals to show their kids, or just in fact, you know what, I had a good run, I did that right. So I can't hate the brother for that, because at that time with Brendan Rodgers, that fraud which you got found out in 13, 14, my man, fucking, no, honestly, I don't want to go into too much, but
Fraud.
good on you, man. Good on him to go, because I'm not gonna hate the guy for going. And all these fans are like, oh no, what's the loyalty, brother? In the 80s, 90s, we were playing sick, bruv. Yeah, exactly. So to let him do his thing, bruv.
But this loyalty thing's mental, innit? Like, Arsenal fans
bruv.
love it, where anyone that comes from, like, players that come from Spain and they're like, no, he's loyal to us. Like, bruv, he supports, like, come on, he supports Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing with Sterling for me is, if I'm 100, I can't argue with his numbers. I can't argue with his work rate. I can't argue with his ability to listen to managers. Yeah. And that's why he's listened to Pep and he knows how to find space. However, like, I always compare, when I have this conversation, I bring up Greenwood, right? When you look at Sterling, some of Sterling's goals, sometimes he scores great goals, but a lot of the time he's got some amazing space and it's a tap in.
He misses sitters, bruv. He misses sitters, bruv. You know he does.
When he doesn't have to think about it, when he doesn't have to think about it, it can come off his knee, his ankle, whatever, yeah? Because he's just in, and it's not happening as much now. David Silva's gone. Don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but there's not as much space. But when you look at Sterling, his technical ability is not all that. The reason I brought up Greenwood is if you watch the way Greenwood strikes a ball, right? The guy's got technical ability.
Yeah, he's
like,
clinical, bruv. Do you know what I mean? You back him, innit?
But you can't argue with Sterling's numbers. He's a confidence player. And it's a funny one. I put a list up early with my City top 5, and it was like, we won't go into that, but like, De Bruyne wasn't in it yet, because I feel I'll put De Bruyne in it when it's time. He will make it.
He will make it.
But I thought, do you know what? Based on numbers and what they did for the club, Sterling might have a shout based on numbers, because he was very important to us. But technically, I'm putting Grealish or Foden on the left over Sterling all day long.
Do you know what? I hear that. An answer to Ali's question here, who's better, Sterling or Mane? Sterling's too clumsy, bruv. Even at Liverpool, he had that kind of, do you know what I mean, where there's certain things he'll do mad, and then other times, how the fuck did you miss that, bruv? Like, come on, bruv. It was harder to miss than it was to fucking get the goal in, bruv. So for me, it'd be Mane.
But it would be Mane, and I think people need to just stick with Mane. I'm a big Mane fan. His last season and a half's been a bit mad, but I'm a big Mane fan.
Do you know what? I'll give you a Mane story, right? I'll give you a Mane story just to finish off this section, right? Because obviously I'll be honest, from a Liverpool fan, when Salah first burst on the scene, right? Obviously he'd done those crazy numbers that first season, so no one could say shit, right? It was like no, he come in. But then the second season after that, right? obviously Mane was been there for a year before that, whatever. So he was a bit of a favourite, and he's a lovely guy. Do you get me? So and he was putting in numbers as well. Suddenly it became a thing, right? Even in my house, where basically, oh, you're a Salah fanboy, he's too greedy, too selfish, blah blah blah. Where Mane, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, right? And it became some kind of tribe thing going on. Do you get me, right? And the thing for me, right? I will back any player as long as his output there, bruv. From time the output's lacking, I'm kind of ruthless, bruv. I don't care what you did 2 years ago or the last season, bruv.
So is it going to show passion? You're backing him, yeah?
No,
Yeah,
but
but let me.
Salah thing's a really good
Hold
point.
on. Let's say no.
Yeah. So what I say to people is, I have no issue with Agenda with Marley. I like him and I got a nice story to tell just to finish with this section about him. But from my point of view, I feel that if man's not on form and doing those numbers, do you get me? Then I have a right as a fan to call for that. That's it. That's the thing on that. So I mean, is that right or wrong to say that?
I think 100% is that goes back on the Mahrez thing. That is your right as a fan, like especially when you're
no, exactly. No, hear that right, and then I'll tell you the story though. Go on.
No, God, there's no club without us fans, bruv. It's that simple.
Yeah, exactly. The club's more important than any player.
Obviously, Zane, you're allowed to have your opinion about a player. So what's the problem here? I don't understand. What people are saying that you can't have your opinion about certain players.
Certain fans are like, oh no, he's done so much, and it's like, bruv, it's not about what he did 2 years ago. It's about what he did last season, which was nothing, and then what's he done so far this season? Do you get me? Like, seriously, there was a one game, 63rd minute, my man took a shot and it went out when it hit the corner flag or went outside the stadium, bruv. And I'm thinking, bro, what you doing, bruv? Do you get me, right? But just to finish on Mane, because he's a nice guy, right? Yeah, I'll tell you a story about Mane. Right? So I took the whole family up to a pre-season friendly against Torino. The year they won the league, right? So 1920, right? So went up there, all that kind of stuff, watched it. And then obviously, because it's the last final pre-season in Anfield, all the players went round and said thanks to the fans, all that kind of stuff. So giving out balls, all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm there with the family, all that kind of stuff. And then Mane come around outside, right? And then so mine is like threw a ball, right? And I'm not gonna lie, right? The ball come near me, and obviously I'm like 6'3", right? So I used to play basketball, and it was like proper high, right? And there's two young kids like 2 seats behind me, and they were like, "Mane, look, there's a ball's coming," and see me like big you, I like literally put my foot trying to catch the ball, right?
You ruined some kids' dreams.
But did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, blatantly because my daughters. Yeah, of course I did. I mean, like that, man. I like caught him up. Do you know what I mean?
I nearly. My question to you is: do you have children?
Yes, that one right next to me, bro.
Yeah, we got other children. You've got children.
No, right. No, the joke thing, right. Here's the funny thing about it, right. So while I was doing that, right, my daughter hearing the kids behind her going, "Oh, daddy, let the balls come in there, us. Oh, daddy," and then you see me just take it away, like you ain't getting nothing, bro. From South London, bro. Man's taking that, right? But the funny thing about that, right, afterwards is right, while all that was commotion was going on, right, my missus was there. Mane had another ball, so she's like, "Hey, Mane," like doing her thing in it, like that, and then Mane went, "Here you go," and Papa just laid it right into her arms, like she got it. Do you know what I mean? No competition, right?
You had 2 balls.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. I had 2 balls, man. Yeah, exactly, right.
So what did you do with them? Did you give?
I kept them, bruv. Standard. I kept it because it's a life lesson for little kids, bruv. You have to get.
So you didn't give the other ball to the kids that you stole their ball off of.
No, bruv. It's a life lesson, bruv. You have to take and get what you want, bruv. Right. My daughter was like, "I'm so embarrassed of you, Dad. How could you do that?"
Mane sounds like a lovely person. You sound like a horrible person.
You are selfish.
But just to say on just to go back on the Mane Salah thing, because obviously they had that little situation where in one game I think Mane wanted Salah to pass and I don't know, they've had a few little.
Because Salah is bare selfish.
But he is. But I'll be.
But he's got better though. Now you can't say that, bro. He's improved.
You know what it is? I was Team Mane, right? However, after the last season and a half, you know what? Sometimes if a player is as good as Salah, like if Aguero was as good as he was, Shearer was as good as he was. Sometimes selfish is what the team needs, bruv. Like
exactly, it's output, bruv.
Salah over Mane all day long. I'm sorry.
No, I hear that, bro. So that's my story. Obviously, the missus was annoyed because no one saw her get the ball, and then we looked around and like, oh, how come the kids were like, why's mum got a ball as well? And then and like I said, it's a life lesson to them kids, right? And their dad as well. Like, boy, if you want the ball, you should have stepped up and got the bruv. Do you get me? And then they kind of hot. They looked at me like, oh, you're gonna give us a ball? Like, for what? I thought, I ain't give you nothing, bruv.
That still, you said life lesson, bro.
It is. Life is harsh, bro. You got to go and get what you need, bro.
Why are you going to sit there waiting for the bag to be come to you? Go and secure the bag.
Wait, Zane.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Zane, give everybody who hasn't got a ball from Mane, anyone, give them a life lesson. What do they need to learn? What do they need to do better with their lives?
All right. For me now, obviously, one thing I say to people is, it's on you. Don't bitch about I ain't got this and that. Put the work in, bruv. Put the work in. If you want something, you have to go and get it. And it's okay to fail because that's how you learn. No one's perfect from day one, bruv. You've got to basically keep working. And if you really want to make something and do something in your life, you rise, you get up back up again, and you keep going.
And you know what? You just said if you want to make something, you really need to rise, and that's what Zane did. Yeah, at 6'3", yeah, he rose above them 4-foot children. Right, he rose right above them and took their ball from them.
What kids? What kids? What your kids?
Jump higher. Listen. There's a seat there. Climb on the seat and jump higher.
So kids, you're 4'10". You're 4'10". That's your fault, bro. Grow higher.
No. That's their dad's fault, man. If he loved them kids, he should try and jump up there and do it.
Grow taller.
Listen, I wanted the ball more than your dad did. Your dad was a failure.
Facts, bro. Do you get me? And I'll be honest, it was bait after because they were probably looking like, right, you got 2 balls, and you're not going to give one over. I'm like, that business, bruv. South London, bruv. And that business. And the joke thing, we got them signed by Klopp as well, which was sick as well, because Klopp came round and we got them signed and everything, took them back, and then I don't feel no way. Do you get me?
So, right. So let's move on. What are we talking about next?
All right. So I'm going to... All right. Before I quickly go, there's a few questions I just wanted you to answer. One for you, Daps. Your quick thoughts on Pep. What do you think of that?
What he said?
Yeah, about the stadium thing. You know, just a quick, just your perception. Is it like
if I'm being 100, I haven't really got. Right, my thoughts on it are that like during Pep's period at Man City, there's a few times where I don't know if he hasn't quite grasped it or whether he's Spanish and the translation hasn't worked out right. But there's been a few times, like there was one I remember over racism, I think, and it was kind of like I think it was about Mendy, you know, actually, and I definitely
was it Bernardo Silva?
I think it was a Bernardo Silva Mendy thing, and he came out
the tweet in it, yeah.
Like he's a nice person. Anyone that knows him would know he's a nice person. He wouldn't say this, and it's like he's not doing much wrong there, but it's like, nah, you don't get it. It's cool. Like don't. For me, sometimes Pep just don't like. There's certain things. And with me, what he said is, I mean, even if you look at what he actually said, if you read the whole thing, Sky just clickbaited it perfectly because he actually said, like, I'm one of the fans. So, like, but they skip all that and it's clickbait. But sometimes I feel like, you know what, Pep, you don't get involved in the signing of players. Don't get involved in these type of arguments in it because, like, you don't.
Can I just say?
You don't know how much, like, it's easy for someone. I could say, why aren't you feeding your children X, Y, Z if I've got this much food in my fridge? Yeah. But if someone else has got that much food in their fridge, I can't really comment on that. So I
hear that.
I don't think he meant any harm by it, and I think he was just. But you know what? Soups always says to me, read the room, yeah. And right now, every single rival fan wants to talk about our fan base and how we don't turn up to games. Pep, don't do this. Don't
Don't give him more ammunition because they're hating on you guys anyway. Do you get me?
You're handing them a Mac 10 full of.
Yeah, it's a free hit, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Free hit. But no, that's cool.
So sorry, it's obviously just to round it off and stuff like that. Can I not because I've heard a lot of City fans' opinions about this, and they're really giving Pep like diminished responsibility. Maybe he couldn't read the room. Maybe he just said this. Maybe he got told to say this and that. Is there no scenario where he was in the dugout and he looked around and was like, "Bro, where's the fans? I need more." What is there no way that he just looked and said, I want more people to come. I need more people to come.
You see what you need to do though? You need to read the group chat more. Because that's already been addressed, bruv. We've already said, like, Pep don't get it. He doesn't understand why we don't turn out for the Champions League. He doesn't get it. No, he doesn't get it. He fully, and I get that. At any club, like, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, our relationship with the Champions League, like I said, I feel we're clinging on to this whole, we don't care about the Champions League thing. And I think as long as we cling on to this, we don't care about the Champions League thing, we're not going to win the damn Champions League. We need to forget that and care about the Champions League now.
Yeah, and just win it, bruv. And then shut people up, bruv. That's what you've got to do.
So the whole Pep thing is like, ultimately, he don't get why we don't want to win the Champions League. And I actually get that. He don't get why. But in them situations, Pep, don't go at the fans, bruv. Don't go at the fans. Like, damn, don't go at the fans. And since then, like, Carabao Cup yesterday, I think we had about 35,000 at it. He came out thanking the fans for turning up. He's like, bruv, don't thank 35,000 fans. Like, this is now a bit cringy. Like, just drop it.
You're making it into a thing, don't it?
Stop talking about the fans, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
Stop talking about it, bruv. Like, real talk. So,
fair enough.
No, I hear that, right? So, what I want to go into, right, is now the Henderson debate, right? Because, all right,
bruv, I read this and I was thinking, okay, we can go there if you want to.
No. We are going to go there because I've called him a donkey on many occasions. I'm trying to calm it down and not say the donkey. No, right, but basically, right, I say this to Liverpool fans because back in 1920 when we won the title, right, there were my fans, my Liverpool fans, was crazy things like Henandinho and all that kind of shit. I'm like, what are you talking about, bruv? My man's a good system player, and that's it, bruv. Do you know what I mean? He's like, to me, he's like a McTominay in United, and like, he's just one of those good energy kind of persons. No, right. So what I wanted to do was, because obviously I'm about output. If you're not playing the six, like, he's not playing the single pivot anymore because Fabinho is the best in the world. So he's now like an 8, right? He's playing like an 8 box to box, whatever.
Whoa. What did you say? He's the best in what?
Fabinho's the best number 6 in the world, CDM. Fabinho.
Best number 6.
What, confirmed in writing? With chess.
Who decided that?
Well, like I said, do you know what? We can do another show.
You just said that. You just said that like it was confirmed, guaranteed, and had been signed off.
Okay, do you know what? That's all right. In my opinion, but like, what I'd like to do, we could do it on another show, man. We'll do a debate about the best CDM. You could talk about Fernandinho.
I don't know who. I'm not going to. You know what? With that role, because I'm the biggest fan of that role. It's a top 5. Like, there's no one. Kante, Fernandinho. Fabinho, 100% agree with you.
Yeah, he's only 23 as well, bruv. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. What, 24 now?
No way is he 23, bruv. You've got your numbers wrong.
He is, bruv. Check it out.
Fabinho's 23, because I will take everything back and bow down that if he's doing that role at the age of 23.
He was doing that. I think we bought him at 23. He's probably 24 now.
He's not only 23.
He's 25 now. It's probably 25 now, but still at 25.
That's still good, man. Real talk. That's mad. I didn't know that.
Check his age. Check his age out.
27, still 27. But I'm not gonna lie. 27 and doing that role at 27, I get it. I was a big fan of him from early. I just feel in that role, there's like probably about 5 players in the Premier League alone that you could say are of a similar level. Now maybe 3. I think Fernandinho, Kante, and probably Fabinho are the 3.
The 3 you can talk about. No, exactly. Do you know what? We can do a show because I'm coming a bit techie with this now, right? Because I'm like, people call me an eye test. I look at how players are. I look for output and look at what they do on the pitch, right? But you've got all these little youths, right? XG, all this that shit, all that kind of nonsense. Do you get me, right? So
I'm going to send you a video. So, what do you think Fernandinho does best?
For me, I think from the little limited time I see him, because the only time I see him is when he plays against us, right? He just clamps people down. He just locks shit down, bro.
He's a master. He is definitely the master of the dark art of fouling.
No, exactly. He will fuck a man in such a bad way. Like, you know what I mean?
But I'm going to send you some footage, right? And then you're going to realize that this guy, starts most of our attacks with sensational balls, bro. Now let's get back on topic, because I was just pause. I was just speaking about sensational balls. Pause. And let's move back to who we're talking about, Henderson.
All right. So quick question for me, right? I say to people, he don't walk into no other team in the top four. So Man United, Chelsea, Man City. There's no way he walks into that midfield, because I don't think he's that good, right?
He'd walk into Man United all day long.
He would not.
He'd walk into Man United all day long.
Not. See,
one more time. He would walk into Man United all day long.
No, I don't think he would. I don't think he would, bro.
We can go through the teams. Chelsea, he's not getting in.
That's just being edgy, right?
No, I'm not being edgy. He wouldn't get in Chelsea. No way. Chelsea have got the best deep line midfielders in the league, hands down. Right?
Hendo, bro.
Hendo? Listen. Right. So I used to be a critic of Hendo. However, let's be clear. Liverpool never won the Premier League when Steven Gerrard was their captain. Liverpool,
they slipped up in it.
Won the Premier League with Henderson as their captain. Now, the power someone has in the dressing room should never be denied. Secondly,
no, I get that. Yeah,
Henderson's passing range, is sensational.
All right, I got some stats, bro. I got some stats, right? So we'll talk of some stats, because fundamentally, I think Hendo had VVD, Fabinho, Salah on fire. Do you know what I mean? So, and Alisson, on fire as well, as a sick goalkeeper. So,
which should not be denied.
No, I hear that, right? But I'm going to put some stats up now on the screen, right? And we're going to talk about this, because what I've done is, to try and keep it fair, I've taken a player from Man United. I've chosen Pogba, because he plays. No. He plays on the left. He does the six sometimes, a bit like Hendo. Do you mean he's a bit of a utility player? We all do different things. And I've also taken Gundogan as well from Man City, right? Because I didn't go for KDB or Bruno Fernandes, because everyone would chat shit. Everyone would chat shit. Oh, that's not fair. All right. So let me bring this up, right? Can you see that on the screen? Can you see this Can you see this stuff on the screen?
Nah, not yet, because we haven't.
No, you know what? We can't. Give me a second.
Hold on. That's going to put it on screen. No. Hold on. I can't believe you lot, bro. You're putting this passion merchant amongst elite players. It's crazy.
But I'm not, bruv. I'm just exposing, man. Do you get me? I'm exposing people. Do you get me?
You know what? Yeah. Say no more. Because I know one of the stats is not going to be how many come on lads there has been.
You know what?
Come on. Do you know what I mean? I know that's not going to be there. So that's where I trust in you, Zane. I put all my faith in you.
All right. So if you guys can't see it, obviously the people in the audience can see it, right? But basically, I've compared Henderson, Pogba, and Gundogan for the past 4 years, from 18-19 up to the current season now.
Okay.
Can you see it now, right?
Yeah. Spreadsheets and that. I love that.
Yeah, no. Trust me, I do this thing properly, because I'm gonna shut up with these stats, man. The stat which is like, stats, XG, XT, all this nonsense bullshit, bro. You get me, man? So I'm gonna show this man today. I'm gonna show you your stats against you, brother. Get me, man? Because I know what my eyes tell me. My eyes don't lie to me. I can tell when a player's a fraud or a bit overhyped, brother. And this is man that I'm talking about today, right? So let's look at Henderson, right? So for me, as I keep telling to you guys, I'm all about the output. If you're not playing the six, I'm expecting goals and assists for you, bruv. I don't business, bruv. That's your job then. If you're not playing the six as a DM, I'm expecting goals and assists standard. That's it, right? So Henderson in those 4 years played 89 games. He scored 6 goals and he made 10 assists. Now we look at Pogba in the same period. He played 90 games, so one more game, right? My man got 21 goals and 26 assists. All right. Then we look at Gundogan, and again, I purposely chose Gundogan because people can't say shit then. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't rate him. So Gundogan, 100 games, right? 10 more, but he got 26 goals and 10 assists, right?
Okay.
And then when you look at the other stuff, right? So straight away the output's there, right? From the other two, Henderson ain't got the output, but then when you look at like shots per goal, Pogba and Gundogan have more shots per goal. Key passes per game. Again, Pogba and Gundogan have more key passes per game. So what is my man doing? Do you get me, right? And we look at, passes completed. Gundogan's got the highest. Pogba's got the lowest. But the reason why Pogba's is a bit lower, because obviously he's got more assists. So he does more balls, which, are more attacking and more dangerous. So there is a higher chance.
They're going to get cut up. Yeah, of course. They're going to recycle. Yeah, of course.
Exactly, right. And then you look at the tackles, because everyone keeps calling he's a passion merchant, right? Pogba does more tackles per game than Henderson, bruv. Past 4 years. So what is man saying about passion merchant? Do you get me? Pogba, the one everyone keeps calling lazy and don't do much, he does more tackles than Henderson. Gundogan, obviously, with City, they don't do tackles because they just get the ball back all the time. So, you can understand that. And if you look at, like I said, long balls, Pogba does more. Henderson's all right. But fundamentally, what this is showing me is that the stats don't lie, bruv. He's overrated. The hype that the Liverpool fans give him, I'm sorry, brother. They can't chat, man, because I put Pogba and Gundogan against him, and I would take over those two statistically over Henderson all day in my team, bruv. And that's what...
Do you know what I'm saying? The good thing is, you're saying this, like you're seeing the reality of the situation, right? I'd love to see you having a debate with another Liverpool fan, another base Liverpool fan, right? Telling you that Henderson does this. It's what he does off the ball. It's what he does, what he brings to the team and stuff like that. And then you hit them straight there with stats.
Can I just interject?
So
can I just interject?
Wait, hold on, Dad.
Yeah, go on, bro.
So look in the comments, right? Ali A is saying, I'm not saying Hendo is a great player, but you can't deny Hendo is a great leader.
Yeah.
In his opinion, right? He's saying
I wasted my time on the spreadsheet. Do you know why I wasted my time on the spreadsheet? Because he was like, Henderson's great, can't call him a donkey. Now he sees the spreadsheet. People don't want to see the facts.
So that's exactly what I said. I said, I'd love to see you versus another Liverpool fan who talks about what Hendo does. Hendo does more come on lads than anybody else in the league.
That's your agenda against Henderson, though.
That's right, come on lads.
Exactly.
I've got some stats for you, though. Right. Give me 1 minute. I'm logging. I'm going to log in. I'm going to put something up as well.
Honestly, I would love to see you, Zane, versus another Liverpool fan talking about what Hendo provides. Because
hey, what's Steve's thought on Hendo? Does he think he's a Hendendino or something? Or
I'd love to know what Steve thinks actually, because Steve's quite balanced.
Yeah,
he's quite balanced, so he can see that obviously he's not putting up the numbers and stuff like that. So that argument's out the window. It's what he does off the ball, and then we're back there in territory where Liverpool fans are like, "Oh yeah, it's what he does. It's the passion he brings. It's this and that." So,
right, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see it. So let me add it to the screen. Hold on, let me get rid of this one.
Sensational.
So once it's up, let me know because I can't see.
It's up there. It's up there, bro.
So what I've done is I've just because you said I get what you're saying that if you're a midfielder, you don't care if you're not a DM.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not a DM, if you're not a 6, a pivot, I want goals and assists, bro. Output.
So I just off the top of my head, I tried to think of 4 players: Bruno, Foden, Jordan Henderson, and Mason Mount. Now, what I've done is I always like to put it in per 90, right? So this isn't across this is across the whole season, right? But it's per 90. So it's per minutes played, right?
Yeah.
And then what I've done is I've gone with Jordan Henderson 2019, 2020. Would that be Henderson's best season he won the league? Or would it
actually it wasn't? Do you know, statistically it wasn't. Do you know that? Statistically it wasn't.
That's cool. I'll go with the season before then. So let's go 2019, 2018.
Yeah.
2018, 2019.
Yeah.
When you came second. Cool.
Yeah.
Right. We've gone with Foden last season.
Yeah.
We've gone with Bruno last season, and we've gone with Mason Mount last season. Now, for me, a midfielder, what I've put in here is touches, ball recoveries, goals, passes completed, clearances, interceptions, and blocks. Now, I'm sorry, but if I'm looking at this, Jordan Henderson is very green compared to the others.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you know what I mean? But that's again, you choosing certain things. But from my point of view,
So did you.
no. But what I say to that on Daps is again, the key criteria I chose.
Yeah,
No, the key attributes I chose, right, was goals, assist, pass
Well, that's
completion,
but here's what I'm
tackles.
saying.
Go on.
DM.
If you're playing for Manchester City, I wouldn't disagree with you. However, if you're playing for Liverpool in the way that Liverpool play, and Liverpool, like, I don't agree with you. You know, I think Jordan Henderson does what it says on the tin for his role. Like,
He's a system player, bruv. He's a system player, and he does well in that system. But he's not. But the fact that Liverpool fans call him Hendinho and call him the greatest player, he's a great captain and leader. Don't get me wrong. I will never take that away from him. But for him to elevate him to a level where he's talked about a great.
Let's just deep this a bit more, right?
Hey, Ali, just for you, I'm not a hater. Look,
touches.
Yes, that's
Let's
good.
look at Henderson's touches. Touches 93 compared to Foden's 64, Bruno's 82, and Mount's 96. Ball recoveries. This is mad. Ball recoveries 7.7 compared to all the others who are in the fours.
Yeah, but I would put Kante in there, bro. Put Kante in there, then compare.
I can throw Kante in real quick. Passes completed 69 compared to 37, 48, and 45.
Yeah, take him out.
Interceptions. Bro, so now I can put one more in. Let's put Kante in.
Ali A is loving you, Daps.
Yeah, he's loving you. He's got. Do you know what?
He's talking my.
So what are we talking? We're talking last season for Kante, or
well, you can little do. I'm just in green. I think as soon as you put content, it's all going green now. He's all gone green.
No, which season? Which season do you want?
Just do anything. Do this season, bro. It's got green anyway. Look, I can see now. It's all gone green.
That could be based on the League Cup.
Same one.
Do you know what? Kante's best season was probably the first season he joined Chelsea, 2016-2017. Come on, he's going back a bit. And still, it's pretty equal. Ball recoveries, he's only slightly better than Henderson. Clearances, he's better than Henderson, definitely. Interceptions are blocked. So defensively, he's better. However, touches, passes completed.
Miles completed. No, I'm joking.
I mean, it's... Look, I'm just saying... And it sounds mad that I've come on a stream. You can take it down.
Okay, so Dap, so what you're saying to me, would you put Henderson in your team now? Your first in your midfield? Would he go in your midfield?
I'm just going to get...
Because you said at the start, before this debate, you wouldn't put him in there. You'd say he'd probably get into Man United, and that's about it.
This is the thing with Manchester City. Manchester City's starting 11, no one would know. Like, we are a squad. Would he fit in our squad? Hell yeah, all day long. I'm not mad at Jordan Henderson. It took me a while, but what's Fernandinho's got a first name, isn't it?
Do you know what? Why are you bringing that up, right? Ali, right, I wanna, like I said, answer this a question from you that it's not embarrassing that City fans back in Hendo and you're an LFC fan. For me, I keep it real. I've said it from the start. I want output. My thing, what I want out of a midfielder. What I want out of a midfielder. Hold on.
Getting output out of him, you probably would have lost the league because defensively you would have been so poor.
No. Fabinho, honestly, we play with a single pivot because Fabinho's that good, right? So fundamentally, he's playing a triangle. He's playing the triangle with Salah and Trent, right? So I'm sorry, I'm expecting output. I'm expecting, do you know what I mean? Goals. People could argue, oh yeah, he covers for Trent when Trent bombs forward, right? But fundamentally, I'll keep it real. People may not agree with it, but if you're not a DM, I want goals and assists at you, brother. I want at least 5-6 goals minimum, and then 10 plus assists from a number 8 box to box, whatever standard. That's it. That's me. That's old school. That's me watching stuff in the thing.
That's brave football.
That's what Liverpool do.
I hear you, but I don't know, man. Like I said, if we go back to the absolute beginning, what I said was that Gerrard didn't win a Premier League with you, man. He didn't get the best out of the team round him, whereas.
Yeah, but again, the Gerrard debate, obviously, it's different, man, because arguably since the mid to late 80s, this is probably the greatest ever Liverpool team assembled since then.
Greatest ever Premier League team assembled?
Is it?
Premier League era, yeah, definitely the best Premier League era, definitely.
No, wait. Let's be clear. We're not talking about greatest ever Liverpool team in this Premier League era. We're saying, because you said that, is this the greatest ever Premier League team?
Well, like I said, Premier League start from 92. So if you say greatest league team in the league,
Liverpool, the greatest league team.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you say league, then that's fine. I would say
you think Liverpool are?
I would say that this team now, if they win back-to-back titles and another Champions League,
because you didn't win it last season.
They didn't win the title.
No, that's what I'm saying. Look, we've signed all our players for the next 3-4 years, right? So the team is going to be pretty much what it is now, right? So we've locked down all the key players. So what I'm saying is the teams in the mid 80s, they won, back-to-back Champions League, or before it was called Champions League, the European Cup, whatever. They won back-to-back titles and stuff like that. This team needs to deliver on that, and then they may have a argument. But at the moment, in the Premier League from 92 onwards, yeah, they're definitely the best squad, but not the best Liverpool team in the league ever. Because
you can take my screen down quickly.
There you go.
Is it down?
Yeah, it's down.
All right, cool. Now, no, I meant as in take, not you.
Oh, take the shared screen down.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
Not take me down. So, sorry. Let's be clear. Are you saying that Liverpool's team right now, as in right now, is the best Premier League team of all time ever? Not the best Liverpool team, the best Premier League team of all time.
No. I'm talking about Liverpool as a Liverpool, not the whole. Not the whole. I can't say that because that's not. It's either going to be Man United, Ferguson, when he won the treble and he did back-to-back 3 Premier Leagues in a row. Do you know what I mean? Or it's going to be, your City team, because what, you won it 3 out of 4 years. What's letting you down in your legacy? What's letting you down your legacy is Champions League, bruv.
I mean, Arsenal fans, but we did say best league team, so I get that. What you said, thank you very much. However, Arsenal fans would strongly say the Invincibles.
You know what? They can shove that little gold trophy up their backside where it don't count, because it ain't shit, bro. You've got a title, bro. It doesn't matter that you went. It wasn't exactly like, was it 12 draws and whatever? Do you know what I mean, right? It was just you still won the Premier League title, bro. Come back and speak to me when you got a Champions League and all that kind of stuff, because you don't get that. Go on.
An Arsenal fan actually asked me the other day, what would I rather win, the Champions League or be invincible for a season? Unfortunately, his battery then died, right? Because
funny that, isn't it?
Because if I'm being 100, I would rather get 100 points than go invincible. Because you could go invincible and end the season with 38 points, right? And be fighting relegation. So which one would I rather? Invincible or get 100 points? You get 100 points, history tells you win the league. So I'd rather 100 points than go invincible. However, would I rather go invincible or win the Champions League? Is the dumbest question I've ever heard. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like I said, you could go invincible for a season and be in a relegation battle. So
yeah. No, exactly right. And what I was going to say on that, just to conclude it, at the moment, the greatest ever, Premier League teams is between Ferguson's team. Which year would you say is the best one for you, Soups?
For me, I reckon. Do you know what? I think I prefer 2008 to 99.
2008. All right.
Yeah, definitely. definitely.
2008, and then obviously your current team now, obviously that's because it's ridiculous. What three titles in 4 years, bro? Do you know what I mean? Consistency, and you've done doubles, trebles as well. Do you get me? But what's unfortunately taking the shine off it is you need big ears, bro. Do you know what I mean? To cement it. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, whether it's right or wrong, that's the facts. Do you know what I mean?
Look, the clear thing is that if we're talking as a league, when we've got 100 points, you can probably say in the league, that might be the best team the league has ever seen. Like the league, right? But one thing I always get onto Liverpool about is the fact that you lot only ever win one trophy. You don't do doubles or trebles,
Yeah, we ain't. So, exactly. Yeah.
So for that,
and I totally agree with that, bro. I totally agree. I'm not going to debate on that and say, "Oh no, you're chatting shit," because I'm a realistic, bro.
And therefore, for that reason,
this is why, Zane. This is why I said at the start. That's why you're a rationale. Like you've got good rationale. You can debate. You know, you're not deluded or anything like that. You can actually have like a really productive discussion.
And for that reason,
fans, that's why we love it, man.
And for that reason, Zane, for the fact that, all right, cool, I'm going to say that City get 100 points. They have possibly, people will debate it, but for me, we've got the best ever league team. However, that wasn't the season we did the treble. We actually did the treble the season after. However, the treble that we did,
domestic treble.
It was a domestic treble. It didn't have a Champions League.
No, but you kind of have to say that.
You have,
You know where I'm about to boost United, but these United fans are just so annoying, bro. I was about to boost you, bro. You had to like a prick. No, but cool. I'll say the domestic treble. What I was going to say is, ultimately, if your treble. Like our treble, this is what makes me laugh. Arsenal fans are like, "Oh, you only did the domestic treble, rude boy. You've never done a treble, so I don't even know why you're getting it." Right? However, Man United have done the treble with the Champions League. Therefore, the best team all round across a season in the Premier League, because Bayern, different team, they've done it. Is that Man United team? Has to be, right?
You know, exactly, and I agree with that as well. I totally agree with that, bro. Because what they did is unprecedented. Do you get me? Exactly. And they did it. It's so hard to win one, let alone 2, 3, and the titles. What they won, the league, the European Cup, and the FA Cup, bro. Do you know what I mean? And it's all at the end of the season as well. Like if you win the Carabao Cup, you get a break, bro. Do you get me?
We've got a special gold trophy that no one else has got.
Exactly. Oh, mate, honestly, I make me laugh when these fools talk about that. I think we're sure Invincibles now, bruv. That's really helping you now, bruv, isn't it? For 8 years later, what are you saying, bruv? Shut up. You get me, you Arsenal fools. Right. So what I'm going to do, end the show on a fun thing, right? We're going to do a best 11. We're going to do current season, right? And we're going to see what players from Man United, Liverpool, and City go into a best 11. I'm going to go for 4-3-3.
So this season so far, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to defense, just remember one thing. Defense, Liverpool have only let in 1 goal this season. Hold on. So just remember that. Just remember that.
No, this is really important, you know. So firstly, Chelsea, and Chelsea's 1 goal they conceded was a penalty. Right, but what I want to know is, we're basing it on this season. Are we basing it on performances this season?
Or potential?
No, on current performance. Not. Oh yeah, my man's that City are going to wake up and do something, because that's just
no. That's good.
It's got to be real, man. It's got to be realistic. Do you know what I mean? Because it has to be. Otherwise, what's the point? We could all say, "Oh, our team's going to fly and do something." Give us a couple more weeks. No, man. It's got to be
20 goals a season potentially.
But, yeah, no, and what I could said is, you know, like I said, obviously we'll do more things like this in the future. It'll be fun to revisit this again, and see what players get in later in the season. Do you get me? It'll be jokes to say, all right, this is what it was at the start. Who stepped up later on in the season? Do you get me? So right, so I'll bring up the hold on, let me bring it up.
Have we got it on the screen?
I'm gonna get it up now.
No, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna share it. Hold on.
Jump on the thing.
Don't let me in when you see me pop up. Don't
let him on. It's just so we can see this.
Perfect. Yeah, got it.
Can you see it?
Yeah, this is wicked.
See, we're learning things off of you that we need. You. Can I just say?
I just go on.
You screen share really well.
I know. No,
it's very important. This using graphics during a show is really important, because people only want to look at faces for a certain amount of time.
It's a skill.
Yeah. I hear that, bro. Do you know what I mean? So, but like I said, we'll get together, man. I want to see your man cave, bro. I look sick, bro. I want to go in there and just check it out, bro. Yeah, do you know what I mean, right? So come on in, right? Goalkeeper, right? De Gea, Edison, or Alisson? I'm gonna say at the moment, based on current form, my man's only letting one goal. It has to be Alisson. So, I don't hear about De Gea because he finally saved the penalty after
hold on.
4 or 5 years, bro.
So you don't want to hear about penalties.
I'm actually going to put in Mendy.
Mendy.
He's only conceded one goal and it was a penalty.
Yeah, but again, I'll be honest. The goal that we conceded, I'm telling you now, Havertz did not mean that. He was knocking it to the back post and it just looped in.
When Balotelli stepped up and scored a penalty and the commentator said, why do you not celebrate scoring a penalty? He said, does a letterman celebrate when he puts a letter through a door? Like,
No.
A penalty is the easiest thing to score. I mean, generally, ask England, they're not so sure. But not for Noble. I don't know. I mean, it's not Edison. That's one thing I'm very clear on.
And De Gea, you got a shout for him, Soups, in this as well, or what?
I have. Literally, obviously, on this season, based on the penalty save and stuff like that. Come on.
No, but it's taking you 4 years to save a penalty, bro. You can't just think,
No, we are talking about this season. You said, right?
This season. But how many goals has he conceded so far this season?
Now, for me, it's between Mendy and Edison still.
Is it 3?
No, those two are clear. Mendy and Alisson are both clear at the moment. They are both clear.
I would agree with you on that. It's between them two.
Right, then let's go with Mendy then.
I mean, Mendy for me, if I'm being honest,
like I said, I'm not a fanboy. Do you get me? Go on.
No, I think
that's what we love.
I think Mendy is making Chelsea like. He's making them look he makes it look very easy. So,
I mean, you were there at the Aston Villa game. He saved them in the Aston Villa game, bruv. You were there. You saw it live, what he did.
I was saying throughout the game, at no point did I think they'd score. Now, this next one is an interesting one because I know there was one player I thought of because he's been good for us so far. But then actually, there's one player that I think's been better this season so far.
Well, I'm going to go for Matip for my choice for centre back, which is controversial because unfortunately for VVD, he's still coming back. He's not the same player yet. He's at 70%. So, if I'm being real, Matip has been the better centre back for Liverpool this season. So I'm keeping it real. I'm not going to be no fanboy. Oh no, VVD. It's Matip for me. Do you guys have a problem with Matip being?
I mean, I haven't watched Liverpool enough. That's mad. But what has he been playing a lot for you then?
Yeah, Matip, he even set up a goal. He ran up to the 18-yard box and stuff. He's done assists. He's basically been a better centre back. No, output as well. Do you get me? And his passing is so underrated. And he's the guy that basically breaks through the lines.
I mean, it's cool as long as one of those spaces is left for someone in particular, because I will ride for a certain.
No, do what? For me, I'm gonna put Matip in, but then the other one, I'm happy to have that debate because, from my point of view, everyone would think, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do VVD." No, I'm not a fan, but I keep it real. VVD will be great again this season, but at the moment he's not quite right because he's coming from a major injury and he's about to say 70%. Right. So come on, who are your nominees for the other centre back?
Well, Soups, have you got any first?
You can't say Man United because, right, I'm sorry. I'm not having that fridge.
You know what? I'll be 100 because you're gonna. The numbers are gonna be called out always, yeah. And the fact that you've only conceded one, right? So it makes sense that there's. I think Varane's
a Chelsea player.
I think Varane's been really good for United.
Champions League Varane.
However, this team cannot go up on screen if it doesn't have Rudiger in it, for me.
Now, do you know what? I back Rudiger. Do you know what? I rate him so much. I don't know why people don't rate him. I think he's the beast, bro. He's got that kind of nastiness, and he's one of those people who put his body on the line. So I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. I don't mind Rudiger at all because I rate him. Out the three Chelsea players, I like him. So I mean, Soups, you got any?
Soups has just caught a daddy long legs,
like literally in front of my face.
But no, but for me, like there's debate at the moment about people saying Rudiger's like one of the best in the world and whatever. And I don't know about that. However, based on this, for me, since Thomas Tuchel has taken over Chelsea, the guy's been cold. He has to be there.
Yes, bro. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I feel for Varane because I think Varane's been really good this season.
No, Varane's had some dodgy moments as well. Like,
Has he?
pretty harsh. Yeah. No, he's had. Soups, you'll agree with that, innit?
Where?
What do you mean? I've seen a few
Where?
times where he slipped.
Where, bro? Where? No, listen. I'm happy to listen to all the evidence and everything, but where, bro?
We ain't got enough time to go through that, but what I would say is when you say, hold on, I can answer.
No, hold on. Let Suits make his case. Let Suits make his case for Mendy. I mean, for Varane. Make on.
All his case is where. He's asking where. So my answer to where would be Matip and Rudiger have only conceded one goal. So when you say where, Varane's defence under his watch have conceded more goals.
Okay. Oops. Okay. That's cool. You can say that. That's cool. You can say that. But you're saying that originally you said that Varane has had some dodgy moments or something. I was like, that'd be
look, how many clean sheets have you had?
No. Obviously.
Wasn't leading the line like that.
Yeah, that was the wrong statement to make. Yes, obviously our defense has conceded more goals. Yeah, I can happily accept that. But to say that Varane has had some dodgy moments, but that's why I said where.
But the problem is, you know what? It's a perfect response because on a stream there's only a certain amount of time, and man can't go through the last 5 games and find little clips. Yeah, there's no way you can answer that question. So well done, Soups, for coming back with something that actually defends his corner, but realistically,
stats wise, he's letting.
For me, if a goal has been conceded, that whole defense has to take the L.
Exactly.
So that's
all right then.
So back for me is one that I'm really interested at.
Yeah, I know because there's been a debate going on recently as well, and about who's the best right and stuff. So, go on, nominees. What are you guys saying?
I'll let you two talk first.
So I will say that the best right back has to rhyme with Beast Baines. Plays for Chelsea. Beast Baines.
Beast Baines?
Yeah. Reece James.
What, this season?
No, bruv. He was a sub, bruv. He didn't even come on, man.
He hasn't even played too tough, bruv.
No,
he hasn't played too tough, bruv.
All right.
I mean, if you're going to say Chelsea, I would have put Azpilicueta in there. However, bruv, Reece James hasn't played too tough.
Okay, go on then. Go on.
I would have. For me, it's between Azpilicueta
and Trent.
And Trent.
Yeah, Trent has to be in there.
I think it's probably Trent. To be
I think it's Trent.
I'm not a hater, man. He's definitely not a GOAT of the Premier League.
Yeah. No. To what? The thing about Trent, because I don't want to drag it on because it's been debated. The guy's only 21, bruv, and people are trying to compare him like all these legends like Roberto Carlos and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm thinking, chill out, bruv. Let him grow. Let him grow, bruv. Let him grow.
The problem is, but this is back to the Martial thing. That I'm calling out. I'm saying Roberto Carlos. I'm saying Cafu. I'm saying Dani Alves. The reason I'm saying that, and it's back to the Martial thing, where people are calling out Martial. You either love him or hate him. It's got to that with Trent, and I feel for him at 21 that it's got to that. But that's because you have Liverpool fans saying he's the best of all time.
Yeah, and I have a problem with that.
I'm going to pull up the best of all time and put him alongside the best of all time.
I think he's a generational talent. He's not the best of all time. He's a generational talent. Let's see what happens with him. Do you know what I mean?
He could be the best of all time. He's 21. You have
to wait. Yeah, exactly.
I knock him defensively. However, he's 21. Come on.
I'll be honest. His defense ain't that bad, but he has moments where he just switches off and he gets punished. Do you know what I mean?
But early, in your best season, because I think most Liverpool fans say their best season was 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
when you played big teams, Trent got dropped and they played Gomez at right back because they knew Trent defensively. Like, he's moved on from there, but defensively he's not all that. But neither was a lot of the greats. Like,
well, FIFA saying he's 80 defense, so he's improved. He's improved a lot.
FIFA needs to allow it. FIFA's agendas are crazy. But Kyle Walker's issues with them, like, because they were putting people that were hella slow quicker than Kyle Walker, and he's like, what, bruv? Like, call them out. Let me have a race with them and I'll show them. Right, so left back.
Come on. Do you know what? Obviously Robertson's got to be in the conversation, but who else are you saying?
I haven't seen or heard much of Robertson this season, you know?
That's because he's been outshone by a man like Luke Shaw.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I was going to put Luke Shaw in there, if I'm honest, because I do rate Fatty Boom Boom. I rate him. Do you know what I mean?
I'll be 100 this season. Alonso.
Do you know what? A lot of Chelsea players don't rate him, which is Chelsea fans don't rate him. They proper hate him. I don't get it.
You like output. Alonso's output's cold. This season, Alonso's the best left back. And it's mad because Chelsea fans all rate Chilwell over him. But this season, Alonso's output, look, they've only conceded 1 goal, and Alonso's output going forward. We all know his output going forward is cold. So.
No, do you know what? I'll be honest, right? You know, when they were down to 10 men against Liverpool, he looked dangerous second half. He started some counter attacks and he looked quite dangerous. So you know what? I'll give it to him because, like I said, from my point of view, I'll keep it real. And I felt Liverpool were lucky to get away and in that game in terms of, do you know what I mean? Because second half, Chelsea had some of the better chances. Do you get me? So
yeah, I agree with you. That was a great performance by them. Right. So when we're talking defensive mid, we've got Trent at right back. So we definitely need a solid DM.
I'm saying Fabinho currently. Look, you know, he's been solid, and defense. You know, he's been protecting defense. So what else? What other names you going to throw in there? Because I'm going to go for Fabinho for DM.
See, for me, I think Kovacic has been good, but he doesn't quite play the DM role.
No, exactly. I mean, I'm happy to put him in the team in one of the other CMs, but for DM purposely. I can't go anyone but Fabinho, I have to say.
I know Sue's going to argue for Fred or McTominay.
No, he can't, bro. He can't. You know he can't.
He's not allowed. He's banned.
All right. The rest of the midfield, I'm free choice in this. I've got no agenda on any other Liverpool player because I don't think they. No, not on the other 2 CMs. So if you guys want to put some names ahead, I'll debate with you and I'll say which one I prefer. But I don't think any other Liverpool midfielder really gets in. So it's a free, you know, so you could put Kovacic in because I think Kovacic is playing sick start the season. So I definitely think he's worth a shot to go in there because some of the stuff he's been doing, bruv, it's been ridiculous. He's like doing what Gundogan did last season. Do you get me?
Yeah, for me, I would say on the right, Kovacic.
All right.
And then on the left, I'd put Pogba in.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go with Pogba because 7 assists already, bruv. Do you know what I mean?
Thank God.
Seems like I finally got a Man United player in there, bro.
I saw a stat the other day where Pogba gets like, if Pogba gets something, it's something mad like 14 more assists or something like that. He beats the record.
It does. Yeah.
Few games.
I'm a Pogba fan still.
All right, right wing. I'm putting this in now, bruv, because Salah. No, I don't care what anyone says. There's no debate on that. That's just going in. Let's put the goal card in as well.
Yeah.
I think you know what, the front 3 I think is pretty because this is mad. I haven't got one City player in there, and I think Grealish has been good. I think Ferran Torres has been good. I think Gabriel Jesus has been good, but unfortunately,
it's got to be Lukaku, isn't it? Striker, isn't it?
Lukaku and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. So who would you prefer on that in a moment? Because Lukaku's doing this thing. So is Ronaldo.
I'd play Lukaku through the middle, and I'd put Ronaldo on the left.
Fair play. We'll do that, man, because I can't think of anyone on the left at the moment who's really being on fire. Do you know what I mean?
Grealish has been good for City. He's been good. He's been solid for his. But I mean, I'm sorry, you can't have a front 3 and not put Lukaku, Ronaldo, and Salah in it. It's be crazy. There's no one else you can put with them. Like I said, Torres and Grealish have been good for City. They're not Salah, Lukaku, and flipping Ronaldo. And anyone who wants to have that debate is just trying to get follows on Twitter.
No, exactly right. So what do you think? I think this is a fair representation at this time in the league, what 5 games, whatever, of which players are performing well and doing their business right. Obviously, we can revisit in later in the season, midway through, and do this exercise again, and it'll be interesting to see actually how many of these people still staying here, or there's new people who step up. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what I like the fact, and that's why I like having debates. Do you know what I mean? For me, no one's right or wrong. Everyone's got their opinions. Everyone's got their own biases and what they like or look like in a player, whatever.
It's just based on what's happening at the moment. And I think maybe if we revisit this straight after the January transfer window or something like that, I think that'll be
March,
like reassess what's going on in the league. And
that's a good. That's a solid team. Though.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Actually, I will say, hold tight all the lower league, or the lower position teams that will probably call out certain players for other teams that have been great. But
Phillips and that.
Let me just
man like Phillips
come off of this real quick.
But it's literally just based on what's happening at the moment, and I guess this is what happens to international teams as well.
Zach, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, bro. I'm still here.
I was going to say quick. I think people will call out players from lower league teams, lower position teams, and say they should be in there. The fact is, the top 4 right now, I believe, is the top 4. I think the top 4.
There's no big 6 anymore. There's no big 6 anymore. It is the top 4 now, bro. That's it. Back how it was.
It's already forming, isn't it?
It's taking shape.
Yeah, you can see, and obviously, Sky was doing a marketing thing to make it more competitive. But we know Tottenham, Arsenal are dead. And like I said, I don't give 2 shits about that game on Sunday. I don't care. Good luck to them. Whoever gets bragging rights. London is blue, bruv. London is blue. It's not red or white.
I don't know anyone. Look, I'm sorry.
But after that, obviously, that's non-debatable. Obviously, London's blue. But then after that, what is it? What colour is it? Is it claret and stuff, or is it?
Well, do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. No, West Ham, bruv. Give him some respect.
But let's be 100. Like, football belongs in the northwest.
No. Here and that. Oh.
And I don't mean of London. I mean of the country.
Do you know what? One thing I'm going to do.
Links Liverpool and Manchester, and that's where all the trophies are going.
Yeah. Can I ask you on this guy? Because Ali, right? He big up Ali because he's my day one. Do you get me? Do you know what I mean? Like I've just started back again.
Ali.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? He's always there, bruv, and he's always. Do you know what I mean? So
good question.
He's asked me to watch Adeyemi, right? And I've watched Ali. I have watched his clips and stuff, and he looks kind of hard. But I want to get your guys' view now. Have you heard of him? Have you seen any bits about him for Salzburg? Adeyemi from Salzburg.
Oh, you know what? Someone was talking about him yesterday. It's interesting. What? So is Ali a Liverpool fan?
Yeah. He's a Liverpool fan, and apparently we might get him in January because of the AFCON and also Salah and Mane going.
So what? So he's a striker, yeah?
Yeah. He's like he can play different positions. He's like a typical Liverpool kind of striker. Like he's on the wing, can be in the middle, but he scores goals from.
So Salzburg, yeah. Haaland came from Salzburg. After Haaland was Daka, right? Daka and Haaland played together for a while. And Daka was linked with you lot heavily, very heavily. And obviously went Leicester. I've got a proper careful eye on him because he looks cold. He looked very cold at Salzburg. And like I thought he was going to go Liverpool, but it didn't happen.
No, it's because we didn't. Yeah, we couldn't sell our players because we're sell before we buy. You ain't got no money to get me.
You've run out of that. You've run out of that Coutinho money now at last, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You man apparently got paid about 800 million for Coutinho by the sounds of it. Just to make sure that City are being unfair. Apparently, you man got 800 million for Coutinho or something.
800 trillion squillion.
You might have been spending that. Apparently, you bought United's whole squad for them out of Coutinho money. But I don't know much about that guy you just mentioned. But I was on a stream the other day where someone was talking him up a lot. Certainly, Salzburg seemed to create some very good strikers at the moment.
It's like a factory, isn't it? That club's like a factory because it just feeds into other Leipzig or they sell them on to obviously. And obviously, you know, we've bought a few players like, you know, Naby Keita came from Salzburg. He went to Leipzig.
He's going
Upamecano.
to go soon, right?
Do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? I think this is his make or break season for Naby. Do you mean? Because he's now had a full pre-season.
For me,
you know,
though, Zane, I feel like last season was his make or break season because with Fabinho having to sit in your defence, that was the point for Naby Keita to step up.
Like you
Yeah,
said,
but he had injuries again. The problem, but he's had a full season though this time.
Naby Keita is only going to get a certain amount of chances.
And Salzburg, you're talking about Salzburg, they're not going to get through their Champions League group, are they?
Well, that's the plan. Apparently, that's the plan. What Liverpool fans are banking on is that they don't make it through the Champions League. Salzburg sell him to Liverpool in January to cover for Mane and Salah. That's the plan.
I feel like your board at the moment, your board's been letting you down, man. Like when you won the Champions League, you won the Premier League, and then last season you were actually in the title race in January.
But they had
your board.
Had an injured
no, they had injuries, but
no, they had an injured
but what I'm talking about is Liverpool's board, in January could have gone out and strengthened. They were in the title race in January. Liverpool's board, the defenders they brought in, not good enough. And then in the this summer, the strengthening, not good enough. Like Liverpool's best 11, Liverpool possibly have the best 11 in the league.
Yeah, I think they do.
Along with your manager, I think it's relevant to look at manager, players, and everything. And when you look at your manager's ability, your best 11, and the way you play football, Liverpool might be the best team in the league on that, right? City could be as well. For me, it's City or Liverpool.
Yeah,
best
but it's a squad depth.
I think Chelsea have the best squad depth now. And then I think United
the second after that. Yeah,
I agree with you. I'm glad that someone else agrees with me. I agree with you on that. But they just don't. I think Pep or Klopp manages United, they win the league. But
Zidane manages Man United.
But now I don't know about Zidane, you know.
No, I don't rate him, you know. Honestly, between me and you.
You don't rate a manager who won the Champions League?
I don't
know. I think the players won it for him, man.
Yeah,
like, you know. Yeah, do you know Barrel when he obviously beat us in that final, right? Yeah. The reason why he performed is because Zidane was violating him. So when he finally got a chance, it's more like, fuck you, Zidane. I'm going to show you I'm a baller. And that's what he did.
Honestly, Zidane is going to be like Mourinho if he comes. Look,
yeah,
the second time he took over Real Madrid, when he went in there, he went in there straight away. He started calling the shots, lost 3 games, and the board had to turn around to him and say, no, you're not coming in here and screaming you on this. He's like Mourinho. He has agendas. I get what you're saying, Soups. He won the Champions League, but he had a very, very, very good team. I'm not saying at United he wouldn't win the league because he's got a very good squad, but there are better managers out there. I mean, for me, Klopp, Tuchel, and Pep are all better managers than Zidane.
I agree. I'm not saying he's a better manager than them. I'm just saying Zidane comes in. With the team that we've got,
I think it would end badly.
With the team that we've got,
I think it was.
It
would end badly. It would end badly.
He's toxic. My man's toxic, honestly.
It would end badly, bruv. I don't think it would end well. I think it would be very similar to the Jose situation.
Fair enough.
But I do. But ultimately, with Liverpool, your board need to come on. They need to stop. They need to spend
do you know what? I'll be honest, right? Let me explain the ball to this man, because the thing that I get annoyed with, like this FSG outers and right, it's like they do this Moneyball thing, right? With the Boston Red Sox, whatever. What they do is they build a team to win every 3-4 years. They're not looking to dominate it back to back, and they're looking for players that can develop, right? That's their model, right? So anyone who says to me, I can't believe they're not thinking, I'm thinking, brother, do you not see what they're fucking done with the Boston Red Sox tonight? It's like they're businessmen first, and that's a problem because they're American owners. Look at Man United, look at Arsenal, look at things. For them, it's all about revenue, marketability, building a brand, and that kind of stuff, right? And if they get the top 4, they're getting their money, Champions League money. They're good because they're looking at balancing the books, right? But one thing I think that I feel sorry for FSG, they get disrespected a lot. They've 2 years ago they increased one stand, added another 7,000. They're going to do another one now. They're building one now again, which will be open in 23, 24. So what they're doing, they're making it sustainable. So they're adding more fans, so we get more revenue coming in. They've done a sick deal with the Nike thing with the shirts. You get 20% off all the thing. So there are good things they do, but they're not. If you want that kind of owner, go and get a Saudi billionaire, brother, or an oil billionaire, whatever, because these guys, Americans, they're hard-nosed businessmen, and they're going to basically, what they've done is they've taken Liverpool Football Club from being valued under $1 billion to worth over $4 billion now, bruv. So when they sell it, they're going to make bare money, and and unfortunately, fans need to wisen up, man. If we want, a owner that's going to spend bare money, then someone's got to buy them for 5-6 billion, and then they can throw their money. But will they have any money left when they spend all that money? I don't think so. So we just got to keep it real, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Some people get too worked up. I've got used to the fact that, look, for me as a fan, as long as my club wins some stuff every couple of seasons, I'm good, bruv. I'm good. I don't want to be in that situation of waiting 30 years for a title, bruv. Do you get me, right? So from my point of view, if every 3-4 years we win a league or we win a Champions League, whatever, I'm good with that, bruv. Trust me, I'm good, because look at Arsenal. Look at man like Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? What they're doing, bruv. Do you get me? Look at Man United, bruv. So, boy, that's all I'm going to say. But anyway, your thoughts on that? I think you guys are mute. So tell me what you think. Yeah, guys, I think you might be a mute. I think your mic's not connected, guys. But Ali A, just for you, our owners only care about commercial growth. It's a long-term thing, man. Certain people say we've got no squad depth. Yeah, it's not connected, bro. Your mic.
Can you hear us now? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it's come back now. Do you get me? So
one thing you just said was that you're trying to build up youth players and make money through youth players.
Yeah, because obviously look at Chelsea. They've done it successfully.
Is that like Curtis Jones?
No, Curtis Jones, honestly, he's going to be a good player for us, man. Do you know what I mean? He's got.
I read that last season. Still, how old is he?
No, he's played 50 games, and I think he's 20 now, 21.
Curtis Jones is 20. Yeah.
Yeah, 20, and he's played 50 games now. He's got 50 games under his belt, and like I said, next couple of years he'll become like a main player all the time, and that's the model we're going for. Where if you're good enough, you'll stay in the team. If you're not, we'll sell you for 20, 30 million.
You know what? If I'm being honest with you, I think that model's failing for Liverpool, because like Trent.
Do you know what? It's debatable. Look, we beat Norwich 3-0, right? So there is some kind of squad depth. I rate Minamino. Obviously, he hasn't had a chance.
About making money off of players. Like I agree.
Well, come on, Edwards been pretty good in that. Look, we sold some players for like 20 mil to like Bournemouth. To get me, like the amount of players we sold them. To get me, so
man,
and they're not 20 mil players.
Still, I don't think your academy's doing. Your academy can't be compared to Chelsea's. No way, no how.
No, but that's the thing you lot forget. You forget we've invested in a new training ground as well, like state of the art, everything. So again, we're pinching players like
we were a few years behind City. Leicester are doing that as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, look, we nicked that guy from Newcastle, right? We literally bought him. We got this Cade Gordon who played. We nicked him from Derby. So what we're doing is we're picking up all these up and coming youngsters early, because obviously City were renowned for doing that. Do you know what I mean? The Sancho's and that kind of stuff, right?
City do that, but we do that with like Brazilians and
yeah.
So I'm saying, so obviously with all these acquisitions, what are you saying then? So how long is it going to be till you guys are winning like titles and trophies up back to back and stuff with all these acquisitions of these players?
I think for me, right, personally, I think this year I think we got a good chance of winning the the league. I think as
I
long as
agree.
we don't get any serious injuries, because obviously that's always the case, and obviously the AFCON is going to cause some things. But we're looking tight and strong, and I think we've had a good pre-season. So we'll see what happens. If not this season, definitely the next season we'll be in it. And I think after that, there'll be a bit of a drop-off because the players are then a bit too old. Because don't forget, we've signed all our key players, apart from Salah, who we're going through at the moment, for another 3-4 years. So as long as they keep healthy, and we're going to have a good team for the next 3-4 years because they're not going anywhere. No one's going to take them, which is different.
If I'm honest,
Go on.
I don't believe that Liverpool are going to do what is required to really build the legacy, because, like, if we're
But
being
they're American
honest,
owners, bro. They're American owners. They don't understand that.
That's what I'm saying. I think to get that legacy, like we spoke earlier, it's when we spoke about the teams, the best teams, we spoke about United's treble, we spoke about City's domestic treble. You can even call it doubles and whatever, or back to backs, because City have done a back to back. We've done 100 points. We've done a treble, right? Now Liverpool, I think the biggest issue, we all agree that Liverpool's best 11 is one of the best out there, and it's been the same for probably 3-4 years now. I think, and like you've actually said that what you want, you're happy to, but if they want to make this Liverpool team the best, like one that people talk about in the future, your board is going to have to pull out some square.
Yeah, but that's why I'm being realistic on that, Daps. You get me? Because I know what the owners are like, man. They've got history, and they're going to change. So people to say, we need to do that. It's just chatting shit. People who say, we need to buy this, that. That ain't going to happen, bro. So why are you getting yourself worked up on shit because I'm a realist, bro. Yeah, they've got form. They know what they're doing. So why should I get stressed out and thinking, we could have won it this year. We could have gone back to back if they bought some players in January, all this kind of shit. There's no point because it's no. That's real. Do you know what I mean? And it's like that's why Soups for you. Your board as well, Soups. Do you know what I mean? Like your board's getting a bit desperate, where they're just buying bare money.
Yeah, no, I do. And the thing is, obviously, like we're banking on doing some damage, obviously, over the next 2 seasons, because in 2 seasons' time, next year we'll lose Cavani. In 2 seasons' time, we'll lose Ronaldo. We're going to be making core and fundamental changes, like wholesale changes over the next 2-3 seasons.
Yeah,
we've literally strengthened now to dominate, or to be up to not obviously dominate's the wrong word, but to use our team and our squad to be able to compete with the likes of Liverpool, with the likes of City, with the likes of Chelsea over the next 2 seasons only. Because after that,
not quite, because you lot have got your eyes on Haaland.
We've got eyes on Haaland, but if we don't do anything over the next 2 seasons,
he's not going to come. Why would he come?
But you know what? I read something the other day. There's valid reasons for why he would come still. Now, firstly, we started this show talking about who some of the biggest clubs in this country are, and they are Man United and Liverpool, right? So the first reason he would go to United is they're the biggest club in the country, possibly the world, right?
Yeah.
Secondly, is they will pay the money. They love a commercial deal, right? He's definitely going to come with a lot of commercial value.
Yeah.
Their board loves that. Thirdly, he loves Ollie. His career started with Ollie, right?
Yeah, he did.
Right. Fourthly, he is very, very good friends with Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Him and Jadon Sancho's link up at Dortmund was sensational.
Of course it was.
So there's 4 valid reasons why he could come to Man United. Now, City fans will say his dad played for City. That's one reason. We can say second is we pay his wages. Well, Man United will pay his wages. Chelsea fans will say they're the champions of Europe. But he's not moving now. So by the time that he moves, for me, I totally get why Man United fans might think Haaland would go to Man United.
I kind of feel like this, like I said, these next 2 seasons are crucial. So we'll see what happens then. And the thing is, this is exactly what I was saying. Both of us, me and Dax, were saying right at the start of this. It's so good to be able to debate these subjects with somebody who's not completely biased, who's a realist and stuff like that. You're not completely dismissing people's points of views and stuff like that. That's why it it just generates great discussion. So I just want
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. I hear
my-
that. And that's what I'm about. From my point of view, it's about having a debate and have your argument. And at the end of the day, as long as you justify where you're coming from, I can understand where you're coming from. And I can say, all right, I can see it. I may not
Let
agree
them
with it or
land, yeah.
whatever, but that's
Yeah.
how we're about to debate. Because from my thing on this, to finish up on the Man United stuff, I feel that if you don't change your manager, you're going to waste all that money you've invested, because I think next year is going to be your prime year. Next year is where you really
got
got
to
to
be.
win it, because everyone's in there, right? And if you still
Yeah.
have Ollie there, I think you've just wasted half a million pounds. You get 500 million pounds for nothing.
I think we kind of proved that today in the Carabao Cup. So yeah,
You know what? I'll be 100 today. I think it's a bit of a turning point for Man United. I think I witnessed today a lot of Man United fans that have been kind of still trying to ride out for Ollie,
and then today was like the
because
Right.
look, United
Right.
squad, like we said, United and Chelsea squads are probably the two best in the league. When it comes to the Carabao Cup, yeah, like you play weaker teams, but if you've got one of the best squads in the league, you should be able to play a weaker team and win.
Yeah,
And
we did it. But to be fair, West Ham wasn't a strong squad. They had their B team out as well. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was the top players.
This is what I'm saying. That Man United's now strong squad. I saw before the game a lot of people looking at United's squad, team starting 11, and saying, "Look at that depth! Look at that depth." Well,
the depth. Yeah, we were saying
that depth
because
wasn't touching much. You
No.
didn't get to the bottom of the ocean with that depth. So
now we didn't, and obviously, yeah, we had 11 changes, but we brought on players like exciting attacking players, and we put them at like left back.
and this is
wing
where Ollie. I think we're all in agreement. Ollie is the issue. Beautiful.
Yeah, I want him to stay. I want him to stay, bro. I'm not gonna lie, because if he stays next year, you ain't gonna win nothing. And then thank God Ronaldo's gonna retire, whatever, or move on. And then because next year is where I'm worried about you guys. I'm worried about Man United if we get a proper manager.
But what if,
That's
like,
right.
what if next season Man United start with Ronaldo managing the team?
I'm sure he's probably doing it in the background already now, isn't it? With him and Bruno, isn't it? But actually, before we finish the show,
Yeah.
I think he's
so
really
before
cool.
we finish the phone, I want to know about your Van de Beek, right? You finally got a chance to play the whole game, right?
Today, yeah, he did.
What are your thoughts on him? Because there's been a debate about give the brother a chance, free him from jail. So I thought he was a bit slow. I don't think he's acclimatized to the speed of the Premier League. But what are your thoughts?
Of course he hasn't. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Of course he hasn't acclimatized to the speed of the Premier League because he hasn't had the opportunities to do that. I think as long as Donny gets a lot more opportunities to play, like consecutive opportunities to play, so not just playing in, like a bit part thing to come in to fill in for Bruno or to fill in for Pogba or whatever. I think he's got a legitimate claim to play alongside those guys.
But the problem is, right, so I agree with Soups that the fact, like, when we were at Chelsea the other week, I was watching Sal for Chelsea.
Slow
And he
wasn't speed, was he?
He looked like Rodri first season for City, where he thought he had too much time on the ball and he was losing the ball in positions because of the role he plays. And it's the same with Donny, that we say, oh, he doesn't look up to speed. Well, just because he's been in the Premier League for a year, unfortunately, he hasn't had enough game time to know the speed of the Premier League.
2 seasons so far. That's crazy.
He done. Hold on, not 2 seasons, bruv. It's like 13 months.
Yeah.
But still, he hasn't had enough game time to know the speed of the Premier League. And until he gets that, my issue is...
You can't judge him. Yeah,
in my defence of Ollie here, sounds crazy, Donny van de Beek is not a DM. Right? This is the issue. Like, when man bought... I feel like Man United bought Donny van de Beek because they thought Pogba was going to go. Right?
Yeah.
So now they're stuck with 3...
We also thought McTominay wasn't good enough, so that's who Donny was going to replace.
But it's not the same position. Right? Because you man play McTominay a bit deeper. Like, McTominay's position is mad.
No, we play Fred deeper, and then McTominay is the one who...
But ultimately... So cool.
That's
cool. What you have is you have Pogba, you have Bruno, you have Van de Beek, and then you have McTominay, who all play a very similar role.
Yeah.
You've now found that Pogba can play on the left, so that could remove Pogba from that situation.
Yeah.
You're not going to drop Bruno. Like, I'm sorry, all the Twitter nonsense. You can't drop Bruno, right? So, what do you want to play a pivot of Bruno and Donny van der Beek?
No, so
and therefore Donny van der Beek, unfortunately, like where else can he play? Like you can't play a pivot of Donny van der Beek and Bruno.
No, so that's not the plan. So the plan is to play the pivot of. People say they want a pivot of.
What I want you to explain is how you fit Donny van der Beek, Pogba, and Bruno Fernandes
together,
into the same team.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't, bro. That's it.
It's unbalanced. We tried it last season a couple of times. It didn't work. It didn't work.
And this is why, unfortunately for Donny van der Beek, like I've heard great stuff about him, but no matter what Twitter says,
I'm happy to admit that.
Pogba.
Yeah, but I mean, Steve, look at this comment, right? Because obviously Liverpool are known for like Klopp didn't play for Beanie Robson straight away because they needed time to get used to the system, learn about the Premier League, right? And I think that's what's got to happen with these players. They've just got to work hard in training, get the thing, and then when they get the chance, see what they can do. If they don't, and give him, because obviously it's a lot of pressure. So why set him up to fail? And I feel sorry for Donny because do you know what I mean?
Matter. He's got. I'm sorry, doesn't matter. He's got Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in front of him. It doesn't matter what you do in training. Doesn't matter what you do in training. Like right now, the talk is: does Pogba sign a new contract or not? Yeah, Pogba is still one of Man United's highest paid players, right? So his next
is he going to go? Is Pogba going to go? Do you think?
I think you know what? My thing with Pogba is, I like we saw it last season. Pogba, when United were challenging, looked sensational. The minute they looked like they weren't going to win nothing, he dropped off, right? Slightly, and actually, United's form dropped off when he got injured. So when the season started, him and Bruno had the relationship. Ronaldo and I thought he'd stay, but right now, with the contract running out, I think he'll go. Based on today, he will go.
What, he's going to go Real Madrid, you think?
Based on today, he will go. Real Madrid.
I think he'll go Real Madrid. I think he'll go Real Madrid. Real Madrid will get Haaland as well. Mbappe will go over there because I think Real Madrid, they're backed by the King of Spain. They're going to do a next Galactico.
If Mbappe leaves PSG, I believe that Pogba will go to PSG.
No, I kind of feel like if Mbappe leaves PSG, he goes Real Madrid.
You
know what? The real thing is that probably in January, what's going to happen is a Super League is going to be spoke about again, and then it will. Just...
Do you know what? Anyway. That's what Allier says as well. The Super League is still on, and it's in the background. They're just holding it in. Do you know what? And it's true, but that'll be for another time, guys. But it's been an absolute pleasure, bro.
Yeah, Zane. Honestly, it's been like I said. I've said it so many times today. It's been so good to talk to you because you are so unbiased. We've just had a balanced convo talking about like this and that, opinions here and there.
And you know what?
It's been a great discussion. So.
And the other thing is as well, he's shown me you really know your football.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. There's times when you were saying some stuff that so I'm like, rah, that's why he wants a reaction. I thought, you know what? No. Let him say his thing, bro.
There was a few. Look. Sometimes I'm not a fan of that, but sometimes I do it.
No, it's cool. Go on. Yeah, no, like I said, he's a soldier, bruv. Do you get me? Do you know what I mean? Like he's a day one, bro.
Ali's great. I want to make sure that I follow Ali on like Twitter and stuff like that as well because it sounds like he's good in a discussion as well.
Yeah,
so I'll just make sure that follow him. Man.
I'm on the same wavelength of him as well. The fact he even mentioned Super League when I did as well was kind of because I think that's very relevant.
I told you, man, and that's what I'm trying to do with my base right here, where I'm not into the hype, clickbait, whatever. I'm just doing this thing to talk with real fans, have proper debates. If people want to watch, that's because they're interested in talking about real stuff, not the clickbaity stuff that other people do. If they want to do that shit, do it. And that's why I do my stuff like late at night because I'm chilling and I just want to have a good session, catch joke, and that's it, bro.
However, you did claim that Fabinho is the best DM in the world.
There we go.
Do you what? Like I said, what I'll do on that, and that's what I like about this. We'll do another show. Hopefully, soon. We can do it on your channel, whatever. And then let's put some plays out like I did with Henderson, because I called out Henderson and I showed people why I think he's overrated and overhyped. So same way, Kante, Fernandinho, Fabinho. Let's put that
solid,
brother.
No, we will. Let's do that.
That'll be a sick
what?
debate, bruv, as well. Do you get me?
No, let's do that.
We'll end on this. That is the best debate in Premier League football.
Yeah.
That DN role, because it's pivotal on whether you win the league or not.
No, it is massively.
Listen,
All right, guys.
people,
Do you guys go on, say your shout outs, bruv?
My shout outs, because they're below me, my shout outs are make sure you go and follow Real Fan TV.
No, I appreciate it, bruv, man. Honestly. And again, from my point of view, it's an absolute pleasure. And guys, Never a Foul is in the link description of the video. So please go and see them. I'm sure most of you guys know who they are anyway, because do you know what I mean? Like I said, I've just started anyway, bruv, again. So
Yeah.
So respect, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And guys, if you're watching replay, put your comments in the channel, in the chat, and let me know what you thought. And like I said, we're going to do some more collabs with these guys,
100%,
the real ones, bro. Real ones, bro.
As well.
No,
trust me.
definitely, man. I want to call a man cave for us. Do you know what I mean?
You'll be here. You'll be here, bro.
100.
Definitely. We'll make
Respect,
sure
bro.
that
All right, people.
Let's
Catch you guys later.